Really good scratch.
I'm here to try to get his quality early. We here for it. Titties.
Yeah.
Hold on to them titties.
Hold on to it.
Hold on, baby.
Are you holding on to him from the front?
Hold on to
It don't matter. It's whatever your preference.
Yeah, I need them titties.
You could
in
really
my
hold
life.
on to him from the
I
side.
need them titties in my life just like I need
Big
a
ass
wife.
motherfucker.
But
I
my
don't really
wife
care
better
for the
have
verse,
two
but
titties.
that goddamn
Sides of two
harmonizing
fucking
in that
cities, you
chorus.
feel me?
That
I'm
nigga
getting
said
jiggy
titties.
on
Two
titties.
fucking cities.
Oh, I told her, hold on. I ain't even had to get this motherfucking slow song. Sucking on
I'm putting
them
a
titties
shout out
till
out
they
there.
goes wrong.
Just the Dope
Oh, we
Podcast
both
needs to
gone.
have a group podcast with the Basement Yard. I just feel like the world would need that.
Titties in my motherfucking eyes. Hold on, baby.
Look at that.
I need them
He like
fucking
titties.
in my
It's big
life,
ass. It's titties. Titties really. Y'all underestimate the power of titties and how they can bring people together.
Hold on,
Titties is powerful
baby. Hold on, baby.
What it is,
Soul
Just a Dope
for
Ass Podcast. We in the
Soul for
building.
titties.
Shout out to, what's his name? Danny
Low
whatever.
Prior.
Low Prior. Shout out Danny
Don't
Low
ask us
Prior.
for no money though, fam, because we ain't got it.
I mean, it was on
I'm a
Instagram,
big fan.
fam.
I follow you.
It was on Instagram.
I repost all your shit about titties.
Yeah, I watched
But-
TJ's story.
Yeah,
You
bro.
definitely
I'm
seen
a
that.
I'm a titty enthusiast myself, my G. I fucks
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, I just appreciated it. It was a great beat.
Yo, like I saw a meme and I don't know how we get this started, but I want you and T-Pain, like the tits and ass mixtape, you know, boobs and booty, whatever y'all call it.
At least
like,
an EP.
Yeah, like y'all
least
just
an EP.
if y'all give just a track,
That'll be appreciated.
man.
That's
Man.
cool.
I need that in my life.
All right, real quick.
That's all.
We're going to get into it. Like, some shit happened to me the other day. Like, not even the other day. What's today?
I
Saturday?
don't know if I should preface this with this is one of the drunk episodes because niggas been drinking.
It's about it. Yeah, you can hear the Hennessy bottle.
Oh shit.
I don't give a fuck. So, like, nigga, I kind of had, like, a fuck, like, you got to know your limits. Let me tell you why. I almost shit on myself trying to jaywalk yesterday. Let me give that context. Hold on. Because if you don't explain that, that's just a statement. Without context, that's just a statement. So, like,
We boo-booing out here.
wasn't a boo-boo, nigga. That was shit. Almost shit on myself. It wasn't almost boo-boo. Like,
Wait, what's
I'm
the most?
I
What's
can
the
still control the boo-boo. Like, a shit is a deep thing. And I don't want this to get nasty, so I'm going to just get to the story and just move on to it. Because it's motherfucking kind of a point to this. I don't know. It may not be. Just listeners, you decide. I'm at the motherfucking barbershop and I'm trying to fucking jaywalk and run across the street. It's a 2-lane street on both sides. So that's 4 lanes plus an island I got to cross. Stay with me. I'm fucking...
I already would have shit in the bush on the island.
I'm lightly jogging across the street, but like I'm misjudging the next car, how fast it's coming. So this motherfucker speed, like it feels like he sped up. I feel like he sped up. So the shit start coming faster. I mean, the cars start coming faster, not the literal shit, but the car starts coming faster. So I have to go from like that light, like kind of like light jog that you're doing across the street to like a medium jog or like a kind of almost that speed walk to a jog, like a medium jog. But I guess in my
warm-ups, you did high knees.
yeah, like I guess in the shifting of my gears, it took so much control, it took so much muscle control in my legs to move my legs faster than my whole ass. Just all my muscle control was gone.
You are grown.
I'm a grown ass man, dog.
Damn, you grown.
I'm a grown ass man, bruh.
Yeah, when you grown, when your booty hole betray you, that's adult. Like,
Leg
you
muscles, like my leg muscles got to work, and like my hamstrings and my quads and my calves went to work, and my glutes was just like, fuck this.
You can
like, we can't work under this stress.
No, you got like you don't have as much as like old head at the barbershop, but you got. I think you got one sit down youngster a month now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got.
Nah,
one
I was at a mean intersection in life right there. I was like, either shit on myself or get hit by a car, but I can't do both.
That's crazy.
Like, you can't get hit by a car and shit on yourself.
I know everybody would probably say like I shit on myself, but like you gotta live with that all day. If you get hit by a car,
But like, I had
like,
a
if
good
you
spot at
roll
the
right-
barbershop, so I was like, if I get hit by a car, I could just go back in the barbershop. I shit on
Yeah.
myself, I gotta go to the crib.
I've watched enough action movies. If you roll right, they be straight.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, like if you
and it was just
roll-
like one of them little Toyota pickup trucks that was
Oh,
coming.
yeah,
like I
if
could have.
if you roll properly, you be all right. You roll.
Yeah, I
and
had a
then
good-
you
I had
fuck
a
around.
good-
Then if you land on your feet, you the nigga of the day. Yo, nigga, we saw you fucking.
It's
like,
easier to go in the barbershop like, yo, I got hit by a car than
Dog,
like I shit on myself.
A nigga saw you. Yo, he got hit
Yeah.
by a car. Like
The
that
homies to
nigga
come out
rolled.
mad. I go like I shit on
Yeah.
myself. The homies is gonna be mad for a different
No, that
reason. I
shit
go back
fire.
in the
And his
barbershop,
shoes
so
ain't
it's
even
different.
scuffed.
Yeah.
Like that nigga
Shoes
landed.
ain't even
No,
scuffed.
that nigga landed straight like on the bottom of the shoe.
Shoe.
Didn't even land on the
Yeah.
side. You a legend for that,
I would land on the bus stop like the lady on the Wayans brothers. Intro.
right? Yo, that's it. That's it. Yes. Hey, that's the move. I would take that over shit on my. You can't live down. You be in there every day and like like niggas
Every
live,
haircut,
niggas
I would have to
niggas
find a new
living that
barber.
braid. Niggas living an amazing bald life. So you go in there, all you want to do is be in there for a shape up.
Just for a
That
quick
should
beard.
take 5
Yeah, my
minutes
beard,
tops.
Yeah.
You got to be the nigga who shit on himself for 5. I'm not doing that. 5 minutes of I shit on myself is an eternity. 5 minutes
Plus
of,
the wait in line for the barbershop.
5 minutes on I beat a motor vehicle.
And it's like you can't leave out.
And
You
landed
can't
on
walk
my
in the
feet.
barbershop and be like, "Yo, where I'm at? All right, put me in line and then leave out." As soon as you leave out, niggas gonna be like, "Don't you shit on yourself crossing the street?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
You a legend in the streets now.
Yeah,
If you get
for
hit by a
all the
car.
wrong reasons. Yeah, isn't the art of storytelling fucking amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That shit was what? I'm looking at that was
was
5
yesterday.
minutes. That was 5 minutes.
That was 5 legit minutes of almost shit on myself
Yeah.
talk. That's very intimate talk. Getting to know you viewers, you listeners, getting ready.
Y'all
getting to know me
welcome.
very intimately.
Viewers, we got fucking. This is going up.
Yeah,
I've been
I
telling you
accidentally said
bitches
that.
for forever.
I
It's
accidentally
we got
said that
viewers now.
but
Eventually,
yeah, nah.
I'm claiming that we got viewers. Everybody be claiming shit on Shade Room and shit. They got fucking quotes and shit. We got viewers. I'm claiming it in the year of 2019.
I just felt I had to lead in real heavy with like, I was jaywalking and almost shit on myself. I felt like that would get your attention.
No, that
Yeah,
did it.
I feel like that would get your attention.
No, it would. Like, 'cause, yeah, like almost. I think anybody's. If you're over the age of like 9, you'd be like, almost shit on myself. Poof, attention. Like,
The other day I walked past a nigga, not to cut you off. The other day I walked past somebody that was getting ready to talk about the Super Bowl. And I didn't really care to hear about like their story of going to Atlanta for the Super Bowl.
did they get
Because the
HIV?
Super Bowl sucked. No, I don't know. I didn't ask.
Are they,
I
if
didn't
they-
ask. But maybe because I didn't care to hear this person tell a story, and I walked right past until I heard them say, like they were telling the story. I spoke and I like was like greeting them. And I
Was
like,
this
hey,
on the
what's up?
street or was this at like work or something like that?
I was walking past them and I greeted
Okay,
them.
fuck it.
I was walking past and I greeted them. Like it wasn't at like it was just at a setting where like you know people. And so I was like,
This is-
yo, what up? It's a setting where you know people.
This is a real person. It's not even like, don't they go, I was just walking past the fucking Boost Mobile and like, no, wow.
Right?
I'm scared for this person.
So I'm talking to like the niggas talking to somebody and I walk past them like, yo, what up? And they're like, hey, what's going on? And they like, they're like, you watch the Super Bowl? I'm like, yeah, it sucked. They were like, yeah, I went down to Atlanta. I'm like, oh, all right, that's dope. And then like I continued what I was doing, like, but they were still close enough. They were still in earshot. And then out of nowhere, like I didn't give a fuck to hear what this person was gonna say about the Super Bowl. And then out of nowhere, they were like, so anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So like I'm down there. Now mind you, I'm not even gay. And I just suddenly, like I instantly tuned in. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be good. I take that back.
It was a dick.
I don't
You know that story was, I'm
wasn't-
not even gay. But when I
wasn't.
tell you that fucking dick, wow.
It wasn't. The story sucked. Like not literally, like, but like he was in Atlanta and a gay person hit on him.
That's the story you heard. You don't know if that story sucked or not.
Yeah.
That
He was in
story
Atlanta.
was-
He was telling the story of a gay person hit on him, and he was like, "I'm not even gay. I don't look gay." But when I caught that part of the story,
What does gay look like? Oh, well. I mean, I guess like if you want to whatever. but-
you gotta ask that motherfucker. I don't know. It was him. His interpretation that he
This-
ain't look gay,
like-
but he was in Atlanta.
It's a nigga in San Quentin right now doing life. He gay as fuck, and he don't look like, you know, your average what you might think is gay. He look like he could get like a full contract to the Patriots right now as a linebacker.
I don't know. I feel like something happened this week with gay people. Or is the LGBT community enraged right now? Because I don't want to comment right now.
Jesse
why they
Smollett
enraged.
got beat up,
They are kind of mad right now.
but people are.
But that's more black than it is LGBTQ because it was
It's
like some
both,
MAGA.
but people are now like it's been. I don't know if we late to the party or whatever, but people are kind of like I've seen a couple of things where people are trying to like start to like research it to think if it's real or just Jussie doing some shit. Like it's been, I don't know who's been saying it, but like it's some people like, oh, he just got
I
beat
know
up.
Joe Budden said the Reddit story that's floating around is that Joe said that Jesse was out. He said if I find out Jesse was out trying to get bussy, just
No, like yeah, that's okay.
that's
cool.
the Reddit story, but that
Yeah,
is
okay,
the Reddit
cool.
story.
That's it.
That
That's
is the
really,
Reddit story.
okay. That's and it's not
Yeah,
like
I'm not.
That's the only thing. Like just he was out,
Yeah,
going
he
to
was out.
fuck, and then
He was out of shit. the rumored Reddit story is everybody seen on the if you've seen it on the Joe Budden podcast, but he was out at a well-known gay club that he frequents in Chicago at 2 a.m. He fucks with a dude that has a boyfriend that was at the club, and the boyfriend found out.
I didn't know that much.
The boyfriend found out about it, followed Jesse from leaving that club that night, and whooped Jesse ass.
Oh shit! I thought it was just bigots hanging out with some gay shit.
Nah.
Yeah, like
that's the Reddit story.
I thought it was like weird. People was like
from some people allege in the Chicago gay community is that it's a club that Jesse go to all the time, and that Jesse was there that night, and he was there with a dude that he fuck with all the time that everybody know about, and the dude got a boyfriend, and the boyfriend and his homeboy followed Jesse out and fucked him up.
Why wouldn't you just say that? Like it would be what it's kind of.
I'm not here to say that's the alleged story. I'm not saying that's what I believe. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that's the story. Reddit,
okay, question: if that's the story, does that make Jesse whack for making it like I got beat up for being black and gay or whatever? Because I think when people do that shit, there's enough black and like gay assault that happens for you to make a story up. I don't know. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying.
I don't know the circumstances. That shit might have happened, and the people that beat him up might have did say this a MAGA country and all that to throw a motherfucker off the trail and say that.
Do you notice Jussie Smollett does a white racist? I don't know what white racists do. Does a white racist know this Jussie Smollett at 3:30 a.m. walking out of a? I don't know. I don't know how crazy motherfuckers is, but like.
Jesse is a very, very much so upfront voice in like black rights, gay rights, and like
I guess I take that back because like
to the best of my knowledge, he's very much so like a upfront like in the
wow, like you gotta be really like I hate gay people to sit outside of a gay like you should be shot.
No, but I'm saying it was another gay guy. So who says he sat outside the gay club?
The gay guy beat him? A gay guy beat him up?
That's what I'm saying. He was fucking with somebody's dude. He was fucking with a gay dude's guy. Like they was a gay love triangle.
That makes Jussie whack if he was just fucking somebody else, nigga.
That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, like it's that's the Reddit story. Like Reddit is not a place that is you can
Reddit is Reddit.
Like cops is not solving investigations off of Reddit. Like
what if that? Okay, so does that make people look? Do you look differently at Jussie if it comes out?
I mean, I don't look different. Like I think that's some fucked up shit. Don't play on that, bro. Like just don't play
that's
on
what I'm saying. Like I'm not talking about.
I think he needs to be prosecuted or
persuasion, but like if you turn the fact that you was out here just being a side bitch, and you turn that into a social justice thing, that's some wild shit. Because that's what I'm like, okay, I'm not going to, because I just thought about it. I can't remember what I was going to tie this into, but I'm going to just keep it right here. But like if you turn your bullshit into a social justice platform because you just can't I was on some bullshit tonight. Everybody be on some bullshit once in a while. Don't turn that into a thing. I'm not saying it's not a thing, but if it comes out that like Jussie was out here, fucking around with, Alan's boyfriend, you just a fuck nigga. Don't make that a thing.
No, yeah, without a doubt. But like again,
I don't know though. But
to what extent are we prosecuting Jesse for that?
I mean, what the fuck? I'm just gonna not like the nigga. Like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna show up to his house and be like, fuck you, Jesse.
But in reality, how many episodes of Empire had you watched before this?
I haven't watched. Not knocking.
What
Empire.
was your association with Jesse Smollett before this?
I just was like, salute.
Like, but what I'm saying is like, what was really?
I'm
asking you specifically.
Oh, you talking to the wrong nigga? Like I watched.
No. Like in reality, I never watched Empire. My whole thing was he a black man.
Oh yeah.
Something happened to a fellow brother.
See, that's where I was at.
Fuck everything else. I'm a black man before anything.
Niggas know me. I watch cartoons, and anime, nigga, and I play video games. And I go to bed. Like,
I never watched it. I never watched the episode of Empire. I never listened to any of his music.
I got like an episode or two under my belt.
For me,
because people kept saying it was dope, and like it's not a bad show. I was so behind, so I just didn't know where it's on this long list of shows I probably should need to start apparently, but I haven't started. So
I was behind far enough for people who I trusted their opinions of who watched it to be like, man, it's this. Like I watched that and Power, and they like just watch Power. I was already watching Power.
Yeah, I want to say I talked about this last week with Shard. Like, I'm not against anybody making their shit or making like good shows or whatever, but I am super on like which might be bad because he might make something that's trash, but I'm super on like a Jordan Peele wave. Not because Jordan Peele makes really great work, but Jordan Peele just makes work to me that's not the norm. Mm-hmm. Like, so I'm ready for us to have new narratives. Like, I've seen more than I can count. Like, crazy ass nigga beats up baby mama. I'm tired of seeing black women wilding out and cussing out. Like, give me some space niggas or some fucking
No,
horde.
yeah, I seen Jordan Peele's doing Twilight Zone. I'm excited.
Yeah,
about
like
I'm
that.
excited
Like,
about
I don't
that.
like almost, even if it's bad, I like the fact that Jordan Peele's, the way motherfuckers talk about in memes. I'm not trying to shit on the woke. I feel like I do that all the time.
All the fucking time.
I'm not trying to shit on them.
Them
for real.
Hotep niggas gonna run down on you, nigga.
I fuck with the information, but what I'm saying, I like that Jordan Peele is literally, when niggas talk about that shit in a meme or a GIF, he's like, yo, even if it's bad, like,
Is it
he's
GIF
just,
or GIF? I say GIF. I say GIF because it's GI. And my
before
last name
Tumblr
starts
got blown apart and just eradicated because titties was out, I think it was called GIF, but I'm not 100% on that, so I don't know. But
I'm here for GIF because I work in IT and it's GIF.
Fuck it, nigga, GIF
That's
it
the
is. GIF it
extension
up.
that you use.
But either way, I just fuck with the fact that when motherfuckers stand on a stage or in a fucking comment and talk about we are greater than this, Jordan Peele is like, I feel like on maybe not an island. It's like him and maybe a couple more. But he's like, I'm gonna do some wild shit. Even if it's not good, it's just to show that we're more than this. Like I said something last week with Chardon, and I'm maybe like, I shouldn't shit on. I didn't mean to say it in a way that I'm shitting on Tyler Perry, because Tyler Perry is doing great things. He owns his own studio. He's making moves that black men have never moved.
Yeah, of course.
Or
Any black person.
or Lee Daniels. But to me, their stories, they're cool, but they're not fucking unique as fuck. Like this nigga Jordan Peele seems like he's on the way to doing shit that niggas literally have never seen black people do before. And that's what I'm looking for. I don't need.
But I think it's a different thing. I think you're asking for a variety of black genres.
Yeah.
I think what Lee Daniels and not to, because I don't want to minimize.
I think they're really great on what's already there.
I don't even want to say that because I still think that's minimizing.
Oh, well.
They are unique in breaking boundaries. I don't think they're unique in their storylines, though. I think for what Tyler Perry has done and the wealth he's accumulated, the studio he's created, the empire he's built.
Mm-hmm.
I think for Lee Daniels, the work that he's created, I think without a doubt, I don't know. I think they've moved the dial forward as far as breaking down barriers. In regards to what you're asking for, is just a different taste of something.
Yeah, because I don't want to ever, like I said, I don't want to minimize what they've done, because like you said, like he's got his own studio, and like when I look at things, like I look at how my granny looks, and this is not like, I look at how my granny watches the haves and the have-nots. I think about having
Tyler Perry with Oprah and everything.
Yeah, like I think
it's
about
like,
how motherfuckers have watched whatever your soap opera is for 20. Soap operas have been on as long as I've been a fucking being on planet Earth.
No, yeah, I mean,
like,
for years.
So for Tyler Perry to create that and create it in a black narrative, I know that it exists. I don't watch it, but like I've seen enough characters. I'm like, okay, cool. You're giving people jobs. It is what it is. But I like that I'm a geek. So I like that when I see a Jordan Peele, I see somebody that I think can push the narrative forward in a way that everybody else might not think of. Like, nigga got horror flicks. Whatever you think of Get Out, it is in
Get Out is an amazing movie.
It isn't around fucked up parts. I've heard people say that they like are whatever about it, but I'm keeping that everybody has their own preference.
Are they black or white?
They were black. Whatever.
I understand.
They can stay with it. Like, everybody can have their preference. But I just like that
it's an invading movie.
He's an individual that pushes shit like, to me, he has potential, I guess, to like when the Twilight Zone, I'm like, okay, we're getting into a realm like I read comics. There are characters like Blue Marvel, there are characters like Icon, and I know Captain Marvel's coming out. There's a version of Captain Marvel where she's black. I just like pushing our narrative beyond, like our neighborhoods and all that shit. Like, that's what I like. Like, I'm a geek nigga. I like science. I like space. I like magic. I like all that shit. So I like that shit with my face.
I don't think people are not pushing the narrative forward, but I don't think people are pushing, like, not willing to explore other genres. I think people have so many stories of their own upbringings that they want to bring to life before they can even get to the realm of wanting to explore space. I think Jordan Peele is someone who has a different upbringing. So some of the things that were surrounding him and some of the environments that he was engulfed in project. I think that's kind of like you and I. Like, like every day in the hood, and like the ability to go lay your head somewhere else, and not like just have to like hop like that. I think provides a different comfort. Like again, so it's like you had the ability to not even like your bedtime story could be about astronauts and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. Mine
was more so like I was watching football highlights and like the helicopter was still going over. You know
yeah, so, like I would have. I understand. Like I would have both, and like I would even have like my mom. Like I would have my granny tell me that, and you would have. But I understood that even when I was like maybe at my granny house, and you would hear the helicopters and all this other shit, I knew that there was more, and I just want that for us as a whole. Like, cause I feel like you talk to, like I said, I've worked with like, and that's my. Sounds corny to say get passion, but like I enjoy working with like at-risk youth or our youths, our people or whatever.
The Hennessy,
right? Yeah, I want that to be more of a. I don't want to be unique in that aspect. I'm unique as TJ, but like I want to be. I don't want to be unique. I want that to be a thing across the board. That there's more than this. You know, you live in a 300 block, the 360 block, or whatever. Like I want that to be a thing, and I had that. So I want my thing is I want to give that.
Well, and I agree. Like I'm 100%. I want to do the same. But I think the reason why we have so many Tyler Perry projects, Tyler Perry owns the ability to produce his stuff at will. I think we have so many Lee Daniel projects is because Lee Daniel has a lot of capital, and what he tries to do is within the realm of the capital that he has, and the projects that he does link with and partner with people with, he does keep a lot of that control. So that allows him to be in a position to be able to produce more frequently and produce with more control over the content that he's producing. Like the amount of homosexuality and things that people were criticizing about him being able to get on Fox. Like I didn't even look at it as the power of a homosexual. I looked at it as the power of a black man to be able to give the projection of his actual life. You're a homosexual black man, you're still a black man first. Like he was given a projection of something that he wanted to project, and he wanted a part of him to be involved, and he wanted it to be inclusive, and that's fine. Yeah, like, but I looked at the power that black man had to be able to negotiate his own terms.
Yeah.
So when I look at those that may want to do the realm of sci-fi and those things, how many of those people have gotten to the platform where they have the ability and they have their own production companies, their own capital behind them? When you look at someone like Jordan Peele, who created Get Out had a major, had the budget that was for it was $5 million. Something like that. The amount of money that was made off of it was gargantuous. So that's his own money going up, and then it quadrupling, which I'm tenfold, I'm sure. Not even quadruple, tenfold, but that then allowed him a level of capital that allowed him to produce the movie with Lupita, and then that from there,
see that shit
the ability to go and have so much power to go. I don't have to go to a network and ask for anything from you. I have the ability to be able to do this by myself. Continue to do what I love by myself. This is something else that I want, and another endeavor that I want to delve into. So he had some weight going to the table to be able to negotiate the terms of something like Twilight Zone and being able to further wanting to do the genres and the things that he related to. I just don't think we've met a lot of black people, or I don't think we've had a lot of black people that have had the ability.
We definitely haven't.
Yeah, like that have had the ability, that have had the interest, and have built the ability to be able to, like, you know, we always had people that made these black movies, but they always made them with a white funding. The first person that made it with a black dollar was Tyler Perry, from plays to all of this stuff. And then
that's one thing I don't understand.
I think we're getting to the first person. Like, he took Key and Peele money, did Get Out. Now he's doing, like, he has just some power in his bidding wars.
And this is me speaking to somebody who's, like, you know, like I said, like I have a regular average Joe's perspective.
Yeah.
But if you have something I don't have, but I see that you have an avenue where we have a connection, I'm going to come to you and be like, I have this idea, I have this move, you have these connections, this is how this can benefit us. I sometimes wonder why not even Jordan Peele, like whoever the fuck, if you have access to a Tyler Perry who has his own studio, who has his own this, I have this idea, let me pitch this to you. And then I look at a Tyler Perry to go, take a chance once or twice to step completely outside of your, because Tyler Perry, because Tyler Perry steps out. When I see Tyler Perry step outside, he steps outside, I think sometimes as an actor, but maybe not as like a producer of content, but I don't know if that content comes to him.
But I think we have to remember, as a company, you still have a budget. When
That's what I'm
people
saying.
do forecasts and they do budgets, you have a 5-year plan, and you adjust your forecast within that 5-year plan. Tyler Perry has probably has a 5-year plan projected, a 10-year plan probably projected for these. Medea's going to jail. Medea doing this. Medea going to ride the boat. Whatever it is, like, he probably has a fucking projection for all of that shit.
Go ride the boat.
I don't even know what the fuck. Like, she gonna like drive a taxi. Whatever the fuck Medea gonna do today. Medea drives an Uber. like you know what I'm saying? Medea goes to the dispensary. Like, whatever the fuck the movie gonna be, I think maybe he has a projection for that shit. And then like something blows up in the middle of your projection, you can't go, I'm gonna scrap Medea goes to this, because you know, when you do your budget, you have projections and you go, I know that we can spend this much and usually gross this much off of spending this much off of a budget for this brand of movie. It usually yields 5-fold, 3-fold, 4-fold. You have to know these things when you're doing your budgets.
Yeah.
So I think for Jordan Peele to make Get Out off $5 million out of nowhere, I think it's hard for you to start being like, damn, I want to work with this person and interrupt a projected budget of so many things.
And I'm saying this as somebody who might not know what they got behind closed doors.
Yeah, like, that's just with the little bit of insight that I have. And I'm sure like somebody with more insight will be able to break that down. And that's just an assumption of just like how with the little bit of insight that I know of how things work. Like,
I think a Get Out proves that you can, a lot of movies have proved you can throw a little and gain a lot if you have the right content. And I think one movie that was missed with that was the NWA movie. I think for the amount that it took to make that movie, I feel like Dr. Dre could have financed that. He could have.
And the amount of money that movie made, I think that would have been like an epic, like, fucking come up.
But I think he might not have, you kind of like, I don't say play it safe, but like you don't, like you've seen biopics go bad. You've seen biopics.
There was no way that biopic was going bad. I'm sorry. Not to cut you off. And maybe that's my bias being a nigga from Compton. There's no way.
I knew. Here's the thing. Bad. I knew it wasn't gonna go bad when I heard that they were bringing actual individuals, like the individuals who were in it, to the. I don't know. But like I said, like I don't deal with that on a daily basis. I don't deal with that much money. I don't deal with the industry. But yeah, I don't know. Like I still like I got lofty ideals of listening to niggas' lyrics, but I'm gonna bet on myself. So like like with that, I'm going to. I don't feel like the need sometimes to, I don't know, listen to a studio or rely on them, like, especially if I'm Dr. Dre. But the movie turned out fine, so it, it's not like I'm shitting on them or whatever. But I understand what you're saying. Like I'm here to bet on me.
That's a point that I heard the nigga Master P point out. Like that's something I heard P point out.
That's the other thing why Master
they could have fucking did this.
That's one thing why Master P's documentary is one thing I'm looking forward to, because Master P has done his whole career with I'm betting on number one. So like I just feel like it'll have another authenticity to it, because I don't feel like Master P gonna fuck around with, well, what if the audience, I don't give a fuck about the audience. This is my story.
But I think another thing for me, I guess, not to cut you off, my shit with P that make me excited for P thing is that all the P artists still fuck with him. And so, like, you can get the realest of the real story because all your people still fuck with you and all of them are willing to still come to the table. You've always done good business. You've always been on the up and up. You've always been respectful. And so we can get an authentic story because everybody's willing to still get in the room because it's still family.
When you look at them too,
the time just passed.
None of them don't seem to be any, like, none of them seem to be worried about, like, fame. They were like, we are here to acquire wealth and wealth to give our kids, and we here to get this bag, and nigga, we gonna get this money, we gonna get this bag. Like, niggas talk about getting that street shit and then turn into fucking, like, industry or celebrity, or they completely make a complete left, 180, whatever the fuck from the person they were in their music. Master P was like, no, nigga, I'm this nigga, and I'm gonna freak this shit the best way I can. And he's a perfect example of people who mix up fame with wealth. Master P don't want for shit. Master P don't come out on this fucking camera unless he want to, unless he need to push whatever he wants to do. Your favorite,
on his fucking terms.
On his terms, on his dime. Your favorite artist who's out and about every day might be fucking around trying to get a 60.
Lil Uzi can't release an album right now, and I love Uzi, but I'm speaking to freedom.
There you go. So that's what I'm saying. Like, niggas, I think I'm ready for a Master P documentary, not because I'm just like such a fan of the music, but the man himself has made moves that I think people don't pay attention to. Like people sleep on because
you
not,
have to be a fan of the mind, like too.
Yeah,
not just the man,
not,
but the
just
mind.
because he's not out and about. Like people might somehow think like Romeo's not doing amazing because he's not out and about
fool.
all the
You
time.
a fool.
You an idiot.
You're a fool.
Dumb as fuck.
And that's not even off his that's off
And
his
not
top
shitting
knowledge.
on Bow,
But like
because
Romeo,
I'll take that Bow has done Bow needs more respect. Like I make fun of Bow personally too, but Bow needs more respect than he does. But if you kind of look at who's done more, like
depending on, I ain't watched that whole elevator video. Depending on what happened in that elevator.
Man, look, whoever's made more between Bow or Romeo, you could still do that argument because
legends,
because Romeo's been lower, like maybe low key. But Romeo's not wanting for anything. Bow Wow's been out in the front. You got
like,
everybody
I don't know how
shits on him
niggas sleep
for
on
it.
Romeo. Like, no, but Romeo went to college and played basketball. Romeo had platinum albums. Romeo did movies.
There's a meme.
Romeo is the one financing his father's No Limit movie.
There's a meme floating between for even Master P where he played ball, he did music, he did movies. He's the quote unquote like hood Trinity, and then you got a son who did the same thing. And then everybody was. I remember. Like,
I don't give a fuck. That nigga got a scholarship to he went to USC, my nigga, University of Southern California. Like he got a scholarship there, bro. He played with DeMar DeRozan, who was like all-star player for the San Antonio Spurs.
There you go.
Like no, bro. Like that man did play basketball on a quality, like on a high level. He's acted in a variety of movies. He's had platinum albums. That man has done the Trinity as well.
Yeah. Speaking of Bow, I saw that video, and nothing in the video flat out shows that Bow is wild.
It wasn't a Ray Rice video. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it for you.
Yeah,
you want to say it, and it wasn't no motherfucking Ray Rice video. That nigga took his key back very aggressively, and I don't agree with it.
No.
Like I understand that that's the point. Like grabbed her wrist, got in her face. I'm not agreeing with that. Wasn't no goddamn Ray Rice video, and from that I cannot conclude that Bow Wow. Like that's my thing. Bow Wow ain't a nigga that honestly, we think of putting his hands on nobody in no other circumstance, my nigga.
Bow walked.
She got out the elevator and beat Bow Wow ass. She was smart enough to know there was cameras in the elevator, and Bow Wow wasn't. And she beat Bow Wow ass out the elevator. You see how she stepped up to Bow Wow.
Look here, I know a lot of y'all out there. I don't know if you are or not comic book watchers or cartoon watchers or whatever, readers of whatever. I've been watching Young Justice, who shout out to DC Comics, because DC might do whatever you feel in movies, but they do great shit with their fucking like cartoon content. Bow Wow walked out that motherfucking elevator or wherever he was at, took that picture with the fucking police and looked like Vandal Savage. That nigga had every scar. That nigga looked like he was ready to sit down with Lex Luthor.
Not even at his ribs and shit. Like
bruh,
she fucked him up.
That nigga had scars across his face.
Nah, she got hands. She got hands. She ain't one to play with. Like it be them quiet ones, my nigga. It will be them quiet.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not. I don't know what happened. I'm not giving Bow credit, but
she put them paws on him, nigga.
Keep that same energy.
She put them paws on him, nigga.
I'm a big fan of keep your fucking hands to yourself,
without a doubt.
Yeah, like I'm not saying this as somebody.
The same way I would have said it about a woman, I'm gonna say it about Bow. You shouldn't have been jumping in her goddamn face if you ain't wanted to whoop your ass.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I wouldn't have said that about a woman, but I just think that's funny to say.
I've been saying that. Like don't
be jumping in her face.
Yeah,
you don't want your,
bro. Like I'm not saying that as some. I'm not saying that as
sit
like
your ass down, Bow Wow. Take your keys.
There's a choice, and there's a choice in putting your hands on people, and you take responsibility for it. But people live this life like you can't say something, and this is towards Bow too. Like words can't get your fucking ass whooped. Like if somebody somebody right now, old
ass whoopings for adjectives,
bro. If a nigga was 6'8",
knockouts for nouns.
If a nigga was 6'8", 280 pounds, or an old woman was 102 pounds, 5'3", and says anything about stink, blowing whoever the fuck they are, I'm gonna punch your face into the next fucking realm. Like whatever the 5th, 4th, 6th dimension is, I'm gonna punch you in there.
And if I can't, I got some Khabib
okay. So yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what Bow said. I don't know whatever said. So like, I'm just putting it out there that I don't agree with the idea that they didn't touch you. No, nigga, you can talk your way into an ass whooping full. You can moonwalk with your words your way directly into getting yourself uppercutted into the stratosphere.
100%. Bow Wow had no business grabbing. Like, dog, ask for your key. The key ain't coming. Go the fuck home. Get you an Uber. You got enough money for an Uber, I'm sure, Bow. Get you an Uber. Go home. Call the police. Call the police.
I don't know. with that being said, like when I saw this shit, like part of me when I see Bow, like, cause I feel like at least one time you have this situation where you like, fuck, bro, like somebody is saying something that in the general population you'd like drop the nigga for. Bow should have walked away. Like Bow's the only thing with Bow is I'm like, you've been Bow Wow since you were like 10. You know what I'm saying? This isn't new to you. You should have just let it. You should have, I'd have got off it. If my floor was was floor 12, I'd have got off the elevator at floor 4.
Bow Wow going through the same thing that Chris Brown going through, and I'm sorry not to cut you off, my nigga.
Yeah, I'd have just figured my life out. I'm not saying it's easy. I'd have just walked.
It's a bigger problem.
I'd have walked away from her.
It's a bigger problem. And I know we're going to eventually talk about Chris Brown and Offset. So fuck it, let's talk about it now because I feel like Bow Wow and Chris Brown are at the same intersection of shit.
Briss want the smoke.
No, he don't. No, he don't. Because I had a conversation today with someone, and I realized something. Chris Brown been famous since he was like 10 years old.
True.
Not 10, since he's like 15, 16.
R&B niggas more thug than rap niggas?
Some are, because some R&B
niggas. They say fucking Keith Sweat would smack the fuck out you.
No, yeah. Like I've heard that as well, and I believe that. I believe some R&B niggas just real niggas that could sing. Like don't play them niggas. And I even believe like Keith Sweat by his demeanor during that Jacquees shit when they was at the thing, and he was just like,
boy, you don't even
young
know,
young nigga, boy,
no, boy, I put your
I
jaw.
beat your ass so bad right now. Your daddy
put your jaw on top of your head like that nigga from Family Guy.
Yeah, like
his son.
That's what like Keith Sweat was thinking. Like, boy, I beat you so bad, your daddy have a headache right now. Like, yeah, like Keith Sweat would have hit Jacquees so hard, like it just would have been bad. Like you could tell Keith Sweat demeanor. Keith Sweat looked like Nino Brown in that goddamn turtleneck.
Keith Sweat lived through a couple Nino Browns.
Yeah, like Keith Sweat a real
type
nigga.
Of energy.
Keith Sweat fucked some niggas wives who was some real street niggas.
No, yeah, when Keith Sweat talk about his story, Keith Sweat was like walking down like whatever block he was from, like singing the bitches when you could have died for that.
Yeah, like when drug dealers in the 80s and shit, finger rings, and you could really like back in the day when you could kill a nigga and get 5 years.
Damn, niggas don't know assholes like that where a nigga would punch you and like a word would end up on your face.
Yeah.
Like if Radio Raheem would have beat me the fuck up.
Fuck that. I think about nigga. I be watching these old like American gangsters and shit, and they be like, he went to jail for murder. It was dropped to manslaughter. He did 5 years and returned to the streets. Niggas was getting 5 years for murder, nigga. You know how quick niggas would have been to shoot niggas in a time where you was getting 5 years for murder and you was singing to niggas' girls?
Does that speak to an era like where gangsters have like more like niggas always say like OG gangsters have more morals than niggas do have now? Like there was rules to the shit back then. Niggas now just rah! I don't know because I be in the house and I go to work, but
I don't know, man. That's a whole different thing. The fuck was I talking about? Chris Brown and Offset. Chris Brown been a nigga that been famous since he was 15 years old. My whole thing is this, bro. How many fights have you really had?
That's true.
Offset a nigga that was in the north and kind of had to do a little bit in the north with the F.
Mama. N-O-H-F. That nigga was in the north.
It's N-O-R-F. North. The north.
It was Offset, Jon Snow, and they was fighting off the wildlings in the north. I feel like
that's what niggas should be doing, like Migo memes with them niggas in Winterfell. Like, mama, hold it down the north. Like, but like Offset had a moment, my nigga, where he was still in the hood. Granted, the Whitney Houston videos of Offset was pop locking. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like them QC niggas kind of got a pretty solid like reputation as far as the whole clique go. Like Gucci vouched for P. Like P a real street nigga. Like Lil Baby. Like Lil.
I'm not done. If I see Cardi riding a dragon, nigga, I don't know why you niggas over there. I don't know why you niggas over there.
Game of Thrones, Migo memes.
Dog, I don't know why you niggas are not using this as fucking as a fucking video. I don't know why this ain't happening yet. If y'all do it, y'all need to shout us out. I don't even need to get paid. Just shout us out first. I need to get paid. I'll take that back. But I'm sorry. I was trying to be humble. But y'all got it.
Stop that statement right there.
Hey, look, y'all got it. I done bigged up Cardi. She can give me some shit. Hey, y'all need to drop that For the Culture album, Offset and Cardi, because she took that nigga back because she in love.
I need Offset album first though. I need Offset only his solo album because I hear that shit gonna be fire.
Would he do what would his number be? What is the ATL number? What is the North number? It ain't 4 for 4.
For what? Like the
Because he
area
got
code?
he got his own album. It's 444. Then they dropped their version.
Nah, I don't want a whole album. I want one song about that shit with Cardi, but I want an
that's
Offset.
fucking fire.
I want an Offset album. He got an Offset album coming. Like he got a whole solo album
I
because
saw the Culture 2 is coming. So
No.
All of them.
Offset got a solo album coming. Like he has a solo album
You
coming,
can set that bitch off.
and I
Set that
Offset,
bitch off too and put Boosie on that bitch.
Nope. I don't want
I
none
want
of that.
that.
Nope. I want Offset by itself. Offset my favorite Migo. Love Quavo, love Huncho, like, but Offset my favorite Migo, hands down. Hands fucking down. Offset my favorite Migo. So I'm excited about his shit. Takeoff is who I think is like the most charismatic Migo behind the
His
scenes.
album wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I
People
think
slept on
everybody
it because
slept on that.
Yeah, he a little homie.
That shit was straight.
Yeah, but I look at it like I always said, Takeoff is the Lil Wayne of the Migos. Like we ain't gonna appreciate him for a couple years because he's so young right now. Like he was so young when this shit started. Like you gotta remember that's Quavo's nephew. Like he not he still. Come on, man, you go with us. Like, come on, we finna be famous. You can go with us. Like we doing this shit. We need a third nigga. You here all the time. Like come on. Like so for me, like
We left off Bad and Bougie.
yeah, who got left off Bad and Bougie? Who got left off Bad and Bougie? Like I see shit with Quavo. Like I seen an interview one time with Quavo was like, nah,
Shit.
fuck that shit. Like they somebody told like Takeoff like, oh Takeoff, come on, you gotta squeeze into the camera shot. He was like, no, yeah, I don't. Y'all gotta adjust the camera so Take could be in the camera. Like he ain't gotta move. Y'all need to move the camera. Like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
I fucks
so
with that.
you know, I just think he the baby of the group and like. I love when they did the Takeoff like DJ challenge because I felt like that was him displaying his talent and shit and like being
Yo, his
the nigga
album
I
not
be.
bad.
It's not like it's a quality album. I say that again. I say all this in like acknowledgement of that and in backup of that. Like take another listen to that Takeoff album and like just reevaluate what you might think of him.
I think you should. You listen to it. I listened to it once as knowing who Takeoff, like what the Migos is, and then I'll listen to it again, like just like trying to listen to it as like if I just found this album. I know that might be hard to do, but like you just found this album.
Separate him
Yeah,
as a solo
you just
artist.
kinda
Almost.
like, yeah.
No, without a doubt. Like
By
I'm a
himself.
person that believes in separation, so it's easy to look at that and do that. But back to what we were saying about just the beef. I look at it like, you know what I'm saying, Offset is a nigga that's kind of like he got locked up and shit. We remember when they did Cocoon and shit, like he had just got out and there was certain videos at times he missed because he was locked up. Like and granted Chris has done it the same shit, but I think Chris got locked up as a celebrity. I think Offset was like on the cusp of becoming a celebrity, so when he went to jail it was still a different thing. Like when he got locked up. I just look at Offset and I'm like, bro, Chris, I just think maybe like you an athletic nigga, you could dance, you got some cardio and shit, but I just think like Offset got a little different, you know, something about him that it's just like Chris.
You think
I don't
Offset?
think
You think Offset got 45 songs of choreography in his lungs?
I don't, but that's my thing though, bro. Like,
You think he ready to push up the tempo?
I ain't gonna hold you up though, bro. Like, what that got to do with throwing them hands? It's mad niggas that could run marathons, but can they fight? Like that don't got shit to do with fighting. Like, if you talking about a dance competition, yeah, I think Chris might run circles around that boy. But I think Offset like ain't been famous his whole life, and he actually had to have a fight at school. And I don't think Chris had bodyguards. He was 15 years old, bro. Like, when you ever had to have a fight? When you ever had to have a fight?
I'm not gonna hold you up. This shit just funny. But yeah, like I
don't think it's funny because this brings me back to the point I was saying about Chris Brown and Bow Wow. Y'all both been famous since y'all was kids, and y'all want to be looked at as thugs. So it's an episode of a show that LeBron James got called Survivor's Remorse. And on one of the episodes, it's about a kid that played basketball and he like playing in the league and shit. And the owner of his team is really close to him, and the kid is like spazzing out. He's a star player on his team. And he keeps, it's an episode where the owner needs him to do something. He don't want to do it. And he keeps telling everybody, I'm a grown ass man. I'm a grown ass man. I'm a grown ass man. And the owner finally tells him, like, the more you have to say, I'm a grown ass man, the more people know you're not a grown ass man.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Brown, I think Bow Wow want to run around and be like, I'm a thug, I'm a thug, I'm a thug, I'm a thug, I'm a thug. We look at Bow Wow in the club and shit throwing up gang signs and people like, Bow Wow, what you throwing up? We look at like Briss Breezy. We look at Chris Brown like just a lot of shit. I'm just not gonna speak on just because it's just different shit that I'm privy to. Just being a nigga from like Compton and he claimed Fruitown and shit. But what I'm saying is like they yelling, I'm a thug, and niggas is like the more you gotta yell that shit, the more you not it. They doing shit that don't really align with like what real thugs is out here having to do. They not to be funny, but like real G's moving silence like lasagna. Like, you know what I'm saying? They not doing like Niggas don't have to like.
I understand though. Yeah, you make.
You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like Bow Wow, like that shit that you trying to do. Like I even seen a clip of Bow Wow on the Brad. I don't even know what show they was recording. Bow Wow like spazzing on the cameraman and like it was on TMZ and he like blood on Pyru, whoop whoop. And even somebody like Soulja Boy and my shit is like. I don't know, just in my interpretation of a gangster, it's like you don't move like that. So it's like y'all want to be recognized as something within the industry, within your group of peers. That's not really what you are. And niggas know that because you've been famous since you was 15 and 10 and shit. You ain't been on the block. Like you really haven't been on the block. And when you was 14 or 13 in your space, you was in Virginia, a place that's not like Pyru blood heavy.
I've never understood that. I mean, I guess, okay, part of you might understand it as like a way to get attention or way to get whatever, but as somebody who has known people who are affiliated, friends with them, kicked it with them, but I know I'm not that guy. I never understood the idea of like throwing that shit around like it's play because when you hang out with these people, they fuck with you because they fuck with you for real. But when you listen to them and you realize they've lived a life, it's almost disrespectful. Fuck all that like consequence. It's disrespectful to try to portray a life.
It's who introduced you to it.
Have not lived though.
It's who introduced you to it though. Like this
everybody
is my opinion.
Got family that's in it though. Like,
but this is my opinion of. But this my opinion. But we're looking at it. You looking at it. That's your experience. But like, let me just give you the insight of a nigga that may be a celebrity. You got to come to LA eventually to do business. Like for certain shit, hip hop music, certain shit, you got to come to LA. And eventually you're going to come to LA so much that you're going to move to LA. You're going to get a spot in LA. But when you come to LA, you got to understand, my nigga, Hollywood, for those that don't know, Hollywood is not far from the hood.
It's not.
Hollywood is really
None of
not.
This shit is far
the
from
101
anything.
to the 110, my nigga, not even some of that shit. You could drive down some of these streets and 5 minutes later, you go from Hollywood to being in the fucking hood.
Big facts.
Like not hood like, oh, it look dirty around here. Hood like it's something like blue flags, red flags, like essays.
That is 100%
like,
facts.
All that shit. So
you take a drive from SC to fucking
like
UCLA.
SC in the hood. Fuck that shit. Nah, you ain't gotta take that shit.
No, you take from SUC. You go from drive from USC to UCLA, and you fuck around and be like, it's two whole different states in this bitch. It's not.
Like niggas forget, bro.
10 minutes apart.
Like UCLA so clean. Like UCLA is in Westwood, bro, and then they play in Pasadena. Like so, people associate like UCLA with like those areas. Like Pasadena has a Rose Bowl parade. SC is in the middle of the fucking hood, 3 miles, not even 3 miles. I tell you, maybe 2 miles, 1 mile from Skid Row.
I saw a white bitch one time. I was going. I was driving past USC, and she was just jogging in her USC shit. And I was calculating how many blocks she could go before I was like, yo, you got to turn around, baby. Like,
you go down to Staples Center. You go down to Staples Center. Like after a while, my nigga, because the homeless people down there not bothering nobody, that's just a whole different thing. But like, SC's in the middle of the hood, Skid Row and all that. Well, LA, my nigga, Hollywood is not far from the hood. Where these people live is not far. It's not really, really far. Like we got traffic and shit. That's why shit seems far. Without no traffic, bro, you can get to Tarzana in 45 to an hour. And that seem long in time, like when you saying it aloud, but when it's no dead areas in LA on that drive. Like you driving through you gonna drive through the city, you gonna see Staples Center, you gonna see like the skyline of the whole downtown LA. Then you gonna get on the 101 and you gonna drive past you gonna drive through Hollywood, you gonna drive past Universal Studios, you gonna drive for a little while in the dead area, and then boom, you gonna be the fucking there.
Dead ass.
So these areas are not far from the hood, and these niggas go to Hollywood. We all party in the same place. The niggas from Watts, the niggas from Compton, the niggas from Long Beach, the niggas from all these Carson, all these places, they still party in Hollywood, just like the celebrities from Tarzana, Hollywood, the people in Brentwood, all that shit do. And we also still party at the same clubs. There's only so many clubs play hip hop, my nigga. Only so many clubs fucking support y'all in Hollywood.
You try to go to Zings?
Fuck Zings. That's full of shit. That's a whole another part. That's Orange County. That's a whole different part. It's Juice County. That's a whole different thing. You taking chances going to Juice County area. Like y'all see OC and shit. Come to LA and think you want to go to Orange County. Taking chances. Disneyland, you taking your fucking chances going to Disneyland.
100% are.
Running your risk to go see Mickey Mouse.
I got people who like, and I like to believe y'all like, listen and fuck, but it's different out there. I know y'all probably thought I was weird, but like it's different out there.
It's two Americas. Watch the Michael Rubin Breakfast Club interview. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But no, like LA is so close to the hood. I say all that to say that like that's
y'all
just
getting
for,
authenticity. You got
yeah,
this. I got
that's just for niggas. Okay. This nigga just jumped the fuck up, audio and everything, fucked up the camera and everything. But I just think it's a certain level of fucking authenticity, and like the hood is so close to LA, And I mean, the hood is so close to Hollywood, and you got to party in the same place as all these people, and you have to do all the same things as people in the hood. And you go to these clubs, and eventually a nigga in the hood, like, that's where all our rappers come from, Game and all that. Like, I just say that with that connection with Whack 100 and all that. Like, these still real street niggas, and these still niggas that still have real connections to the streets and shit. So when you get these celebrities that move out here, eventually you're going to encounter people who are involved in gang culture. That's the long way of saying that. You encounter these people. Whether you come to LA, you get a bodyguard. Guess what? Either he bang, he got a baby mama that bang, he got a bro that bang, he grew up in the hood. All that shit. If you don't believe it, out loud, the Suge Knight story. Like, Suge Knight is a nigga who was a nigga that was from the hood, maybe even a pedestrian of the hood, depending on who you ask. Went on to like go to UNLV, became a bodyguard for Bobby Brown and other celebrities, and then went on to meet enough people to create the empire that he created. I think that's the thing that happens in LA with celebrities. They come here, you can't escape that culture. Like, the gang culture in LA is that fucking big. Like, it's really a fucking culture. Like, you really can't escape that shit. And these niggas just end up running into these niggas, and eventually you realize, like, yo, these are the same niggas that rob people. So let me buddy up to these niggas. Like, I guess a good example would be like, for anybody listening, like, if you've ever, like, go listen to the Kendrick Lamar Duckworth song on the End of the Damn album, where he talks about how his father even buddied up to Top Dog. And was like, you know, when he came in, when he was in line, you know, extra 2-piece, extra biscuits, extra pieces, all that shit, just to buddy up to the local gangsters, just because you understood like the power they had and what could happen to you in LA just through the power of gangbanging. So I think the same thing happened to these celebrities, and then I think some of that shit entices them. Like, it's like, it's a thrill. Like, you know, when you got money and you're closeted off, and you've been closeted off since you was 15, 16, 10 years old, or whatever it was, somebody like Bow Wow, who got his name and was introduced to hip hop through somebody like the Death Row Camp and somebody like Snoop Dogg, who was like a California legend, a gangbanging Crip legend, regardless of what your opinions is, like how he carry his flag and how he rep what he rep. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's like 6 degrees of separation. You only get so far from it. You live in LA for so long. It's only a matter of time before you're gonna encounter that in one way or another. Especially if you gotta have big ass niggas that you think gonna be tough and feel like they are like intimidating. Those dudes don't come from like Canyon country. They don't come from Brentwood. They don't come from like the Valley. They don't come from none of those places. Like, you're not giving no tough impression coming from none of those places. You gotta come from the hood. That's where people like. That's where the menacing grimace come from. Like
the menacing grimace. Oh, I'm back.
Yeah, like
the menacing grimaces. Fuck.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Shit.
So like nobody's believing like, oh, I'm from Topanga and I can keep you safe. And no, you can't, because where I want to go to Roscoe's, and I want to go to places Pico and La Brea, and I can't trust a security guard that's gonna look nervous there. So more times than not, you getting a nigga who like is a big nigga from the hood,
that's
who
my
got a black
favorite.
t-shirt.
Honestly, that one on Pico is my favorite Roscoe's.
You got to be. Obama went to that one. Obama went to that one, son. Like, you can go to Long Beach too. You can go to the other one on 405.
That's because my family in West. I got a West LA family though. Like, but yeah, like that's my favorite Roscoe's.
Not even like, even off the like, you know what, for me, West LA, I was speaking to somebody about this, like West LA is like black culture mecca. So like, you gotta get, like, if you black and you come to LA, like, you gotta go to certain areas. But I think like the business aspect of West LA, how black is managed to stay in West LA business wise, I think that's it makes it the mecca of like
things like that, like looking at
Black
West LA and looking at things like that.
Baldwin
like,
Hills, Ladera Heights, like
Baldwin Hills, Ladera Heights. You look at like
Crenshaw,
Lamert Park. You
Lamar
look at
Park,
things like that,
yeah.
and like you look at situations like that new Gucci thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, let's boycott.
Even Montclair had the same little jacket. Niggas caught them too.
Yeah, like you boycott them, and it's like, I know niggas be online thinking like Gucci is the end all be all, but you have these businesses. All you got to do is just show up.
Like, it's black. Oh man, like what's
it's all you have to do.
I'm drawing a blank, but like, what's my
shout out to Dirty Laundry, black owned business.
Shout out to Dirty Laundry,
fuck owned business with amazing clothing.
Don't let KT in that perm fool y'all. KT black, that's just a perm. If you wet his hair, it's gonna smell like eggs. That nigga black at Dirty Laundry is black on KT. I love you. I'm sorry I exposed your secret. Don't be running Dirty Laundry shop wetting KT hairs trying to see if it smell like eggs. I love KT. I love Dirty Laundry. Like, black owned business. Go support Dirty Laundry. I love KT so much. I was gonna call him and record this episode up here, but I just did it. We just did it at the crib. But
Jay just hit me, and I like part of me was like, "Yo, you should come through," and then I got drunk, so it don't matter. I'm sorry.
Who?
Jay just hit me like Breeze.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Like when I posted like a
Because I call him Breezy.
Nigga, I posted Hennessy and like Breeze was like, "Hey, like that's the mood." And then I saw a cup of his that was empty, and I was like, "It is a mood." And part of me was like, "Pull up," and then we'd already started. But my thing
text
is
him
like,
after this, we might end up doing that. Jay
but
Breeze.
no, what I'm saying is like, yeah, like it's just, I know like you might, because me personally, I feel like that. Like you see it online and you feel like the shit is like far and in between, but it's not. That shit is up the street from your house. You just gotta go there. Like
I digress. I was about to say something. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but no, I'm just saying like it's not just West LA. It's wherever you're from. Like there's a neighborhood you go online. Like even with T.I. doing this shit. And shout out to T.I. And shout out to like Tank, who are promoting black businesses. They're really good clothes, really good quality, really good this, really good that. Like
not even that. Most of your favorite designers, I hate to say it, they're poaching off of black designers locally. They're poaching off of your local black designers who don't have a big enough voice yet, who only have 1,300 followers and shit that are making dope shit. They're going online and they're fucking taking their designs and then they're presenting them to the world.
Even your favorite fucking J's, like if you look at like I saw some shit that said.
I'm sorry, I have to cut you off. I have to cut you off because I don't want to forget this. It's a guy on fucking IG. He's a designer. He's fucking DC like FBG. I'm gonna fucking add him in this shit. He designs shoes, and he is a guy he's from the Bay. He was on one of the Warriors. I think the Warriors Christmas game. Steph Curry let him design the ISO like the winner Steph Curry. He took a bunch of kids to the Warriors game. That gentleman is an amazing designer. Like hats off to him. And also, he also like does a very good job for those that like being a voice for the voiceless as far as these designers and making sure that people do not steal their designs. Like he will go as far as DMing, getting emails, getting in contact with people who are like executives at companies, and I forget the name of the company, but I'm definitely gonna add this man, and I'm definitely gonna like take this segment and cut it into and add him because I definitely commend and respect what he does because he definitely like.
Well, the way you talking, like he deserves it.
Nah, man, because like I watch him and his clothes and like because I don't know, maybe one post just really caught me by surprise and like really just his passion for it, and he was fighting for something that wasn't even his. It's just a friend of a friend or whatever the connection might have been. He just fought so hard for it and so passionately for it, and like I guess just like like we shout out Dirty Laundry, seeing KT be a friend, and KT is the person that really opened my eyes to like how designers really do this and how Supreme and what's the one Obey and different people just take these things. And also at a time point in my life I was like going to the Crooks and Castles shop a lot, and even somebody like LRG, like for those that don't know, the people that created Crooks and Castles, for those who know who that brand is, they were a part of the LRG Lifted Research Group originally. What happened was they were a part of Ventures Group trying to develop a brand, and one of the people in LRG took the money from the Ventures Group, ran off and created LRG and left all the other people stuck. That left them niggas to go ahead and create Crooks and Castles because they said behind every great brand there's somebody who stole, or every great empire there's somebody who stole, killed, did some like illegal frivolous shit to be able to create that. So behind every castle there's a crook. Like so it was Crooks and Castles. That's how they created the brand.
Makes sense.
So I was privy to getting that information just by going to their brand all the time, like going to their flagship stores and like interacting with them. And then I like also just having KT, who's like again like a close friend, somebody I have a immense amount of respect for.
He be knowing.
Yeah, like tremendous respect for his fashion mind and just his knowledge of that. Like he explained that to me as well, and how fashion, like big fashion houses and just different people do that shit. And like even recently, I seen Gucci get caught for that shit for a jacket. But the same gentleman I'm talking about with the shoes, he caught Gucci with that shit for a jacket for somebody else. But that's why I'm really at that man. But yeah, like that's a real thing. That's a real thing. I forgot like black businesses. But like yeah, more times than not, support the local fucking black business, because what you think is you see the Gucci brand or the whatever brand, the Fashion Nova, even those you see their brand before you see that local person down the street. But what you don't realize is she didn't steal their shit. They stole her shit. They stole his shit.
Even stealing that shit, like even stealing his shit, and like when you kind of boil it down to like came from whatever factories, like all like I gotta remember, like I was watching, I think it was like a Vice episode, and it was on shoes, and they talked about like they went to this like Chinese guy's house and how like he reflips and sells shoes, and they kind of got to the StockX.
I remember the one. Yes.
Yeah, like he got to the StockX thing, but he was like, they're not different.
Yeah.
Like it might be, oh shit.
He created a whole site for like bootleg shoes, knockoff shoes. Like,
so it's just
but
like,
they were basically B grade shoes, the same B grades that like.
And when you realize what
like,
makes them B grade, it's like why you're gonna pay $300-$400 extra for
small imperfections, like.
Yeah, or some shit ain't even imperfections. It's imperfections because somebody just told you this one's not good as that one, and then not only are you paying extra to support this shit, you're supporting, like I said, like with Gucci, like you're supporting motherfuckers who are blatantly disrespecting you. Not gonna lie, me being dumb and talking to my niggas on a inebriated night, I thought that sweater was for sucking dick in the cold, but like I saw that shit.
We talked about that sweater 5 days before the fucking world blew up about it.
I saw that shit
to the group chat.
And I was like, Gucci out here trying to get bitches to suck dick and not be cold at the same time.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. The most ignorant nigga in the group chat, who is Justin, shout out Jay. He's the nigga that pointed out like, yo, that's blackface.
Nigga was like, that shit's racist as fuck.
Fire.
And I was like, oh shit. He's not fucking around. Like,
TJ was thinking bitches was gonna suck dick in
I
the
was
winter.
like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I know if you go in any episode, even if I say even if I hit the fucking content wrong, I start out with I'm really for our people. My first thought was they sucking dick in the cold. It's cold out in California is as cold as gonna get. Everywhere is cold as shit. It's freezing cold. I'm like, yo. Gucci was like, yo, man.
I think it was 42 degrees in Los Angeles, California.
I was like, yo, Gucci said, let's suck dick in the cold. That nigga Jay, I was like, these niggas racist as fuck. I'm stupid as shit.
Yes, you are. But yeah, black business, fucking supported. Again, we ran completely the fuck away from what we talking about. Chris Brown and shit. Yeah, that's my whole thought though. Like, bro, like I think Chris is really anxious to jump out the window.
Who you got in the fight? Anything outside of round.
Take a set, bro.
Anything
take a set.
Outside of round like 2. Chris Brown got 45.
Ain't no round 2 in no fight, fam.
Chris Brown
ain't no round 2 in no
Chris
fight.
Brown gave us 45 coked out songs.
I don't care about that, but I've seen
with
fights
choreography attached.
And guess what though, TJ? We've seen. Okay,
honestly,
hold on, real quick.
Yes.
Honestly, we've seen fights with boxers go 10 seconds.
You killing my joke. Yes.
I understand that, my nigga.
In a real fight, like
I understand the joke, but we got that one off already.
I feel like Offset done socked the nigga too in real life. Chris Brown been famous since he was 15.
This be my shit though, bro. Like I be willing to get a joke off, but I don't be wanting to hold on to a joke so long that somebody start thinking I'm the fuck boy that
I feel like Offset has beat up grown men. Chris Brown was famous.
Chris Brown did a Stenton County too and all that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Chris Brown did a Stenton County. Yes,
did he do a real life stint or a famous people stint?
You go to Twin Towers. You go to Twin Towers.
Oh, he went to Twin. That's wow. When did
Paris Hilton went to Twin Towers? Give a fuck what you say, bro.
Yeah.
Twin Towers. I don't even the nice part of Twin Towers is fucked up. It's no nice part of that shit.
I got an uncle that got a story with Twin.
There's no.
Ain't got nothing to do with
I don't give a fuck.
We leaving that alone.
Yeah, there's no Brentwood at Twin Towers.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. I guess that does come down to like Offset been Offset for a while. He didn't get famous till he was grown. Chris Brown been famous.
And I understand Chris Brown be in the gym hitting the punching bag and all that shit. That heavy bag don't have no arms, don't have no legs.
It's a different life when you was famous when your wet dreams hit. That's a different type of life. Yeah, I don't know.
Chris Brown, like we always let Chris Brown live in 2 different lives.
But
Chris Brown, the same nigga that aspires to be Michael Jackson.
Chris Brown did give me enough jokes to produce proper memes on our page, so
that shit wasn't funny to me though.
It's okay. Look, I didn't put that shit because it was funny to me. I put that shit because it was funny to people.
I didn't think it was funny.
Hey man, somebody did.
Yeah.
Look. I know how I feel. But I also know, like, we trying to win. Okay, relax.
If you thought that was funny, that was kind of corny of you.
Hey, nigga, that shit.
To those that are listening and those that follow.
Hey, nigga, that shit. If Chris Brown shooting the shotgun to push up the tempo was funny. The Pootie Tang one is up for debate.
Not funny. Even the hippity hop, not funny. Not funny. None of that shit was funny to me on Chris Brown behalf. And none of that shit was funny.
I don't want
to
to say Chris Brown like
all of that shit was some goofy shit.
I'm not gonna say Chris Brown.
I'm not here for a nigga jumping out the window like
has
that.
Has negative hands. I don't know.
I don't think he got negative hands. I'm just not for all of that extra shit. Like
Yeah,
bro,
that's one
y'all celebrities. Y'all gotta go everywhere. It's Grammy weekend coming up. He gotta be in LA. Migos is
not even.
just catch him when you catch him. If you really on some shit, just catch him when you catch him.
That's one thing I don't understand when people like, because even sometimes you hear like, cause I love the Joe Budden podcast. It's not a shit on it, but sometimes like it is like a, like there's like a cap, like there's like a not a cap, a fucking disclaimer for we're creators, we're emotional. You're humans too. Like you're regular people. Like
everybody's a creator. Everybody creates something.
Yeah, like relax.
People that work at
like,
McDonald's create burgers and fries.
Give you an excuse
people
to
that
just
work at
like
people that work at airplanes,
shit.
like people that work at airports create flights and create tickets.
I will say
everybody creates something.
As much as I find Chris's shit funny, I think about myself, the effort it takes to type this up, to post it in all caps, which takes
that nigga
hitting shift.
Bro,
you're not mad. You just doing that.
If you IGN whole paragraphs and shit, bro, like at some point if you gotta,
I've never typed a paragraph.
Let me tell you something. If you have to proofread your shit, you have time to calm down.
Yeah, that's the point.
If you gotta proofread your shit, you got time to calm down. If your whole sentence is just fuck at da da da, you done had no time to calm down. That's a spur of the moment thing.
Mm-hmm.
You type 18 lines on Instagram, my nigga. You had to proofread that, and you had a moment to calm down. Yeah. You had to go, hibbity. Nah, hold on. Let me put mine. You had to use your thumb to go back and make sure hibbity was spelled correct, hobbity, because those are not in the fucking iPhone dictionary. You had time to reread that and proofread that, my nigga. You had time to be like, look, this is a lot. So that lets me know, my nigga, that was an intentional shot. I feel like in my head, Chris Brown had that in his notes. He just copy and pasted that.
Part of me does think I don't know their person.
I don't know why.
Part of me does think he had this locked.
Migos and Chris been had a beef for a long time. You can't forget when that same fucking award show where the Migos is gonna jump on Joe Budden and the Complex crew. Mm-hmm. That same one, the Migos and them had a situation with Chris Brown in the parking lot because you got to remember Quavo was dating Karrueche at the time.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, so like Chris been had some heat towards them niggas. Like y'all been had some little. You been had some little feelings towards them.
I was having a conversation about this. Does that mean? Do we give like R&B singers more like with the shitsness, or are they just more emotional?
No, you're men. Just because you can reach a different octave in your voice doesn't mean you're not a man. Like, no, we're not doing that.
No, I'm not saying like because you catch your favorite rapper will say, I'm with the shit. I'll put the whatever, pick your favorite gun, put it on a nigga. But shit happened, them niggas kind of get kind of quiet about it.
And I don't believe all of them niggas, and it's just like I don't believe all R&B niggas is pussy. Like I don't believe all rap niggas gangster, and I don't believe all R&B niggas only want to sing and dance around. I believe some of the niggas will put their hands on you, just like I believe some rap niggas won't put their hands on you. That's just my opinion of it, though. That's just me. Like I feel like no, it's not 100% on either side. I'm not saying it's 64. Like I'm not saying what side is what, how much on either side. I just don't believe either side is 100% either.
That makes sense. Like
that's just my whole shit. That's just the same way. I don't believe niggas can get rid of racism with power walking. Shout out to Liam Neeson. Shout out to Liam Neeson.
I want to get this.
That's the same way. I just don't feel like niggas can get rid of racism with power walking.
Robert McCall,
but that's just me.
Was smoked the shit out of Brian Mills.
I'm gonna let you live with that because I only know who Robert McCall is. I don't know the fuck Brian Mills is.
Exactly. Which let me know Robert McCall was smoked the fuck out of Brian Mills.
I ain't even gonna do that because I feel like you just getting that off because of the moment. And we've talked about on this show about niggas just attacking niggas just because it's in the moment. And I ain't gonna do that. My whole thing is this though. You can't get rid of racism with power walking. That's fucking amazing to me.
Sure the fuck can't. Marching.
Fuck all that other shit. You can't get rid of racism with power.
What's your name?
That nigga said.
What's your name?
I talked to a Catholic priest and I grew up Catholic and I really didn't.
I'm finna get it because I heard her name on the Brilliant Idiots podcast too. Letty. What's her name? Michelle Rodriguez?
Oh,
she can shut the fuck up too.
Michelle Rodriguez.
She can shut the fuck up forever too.
Oh my!
He kissed Viola Davis.
That
Davis
nigga said that white man can't be racist. You seen the way he kissed Viola Davis?
Yo, she can shut the fuck up forever. Like your favorite.
That's that's about her fifth or
dog. Hasn't she been on a run?
That's about her fifth or like. And I want to be accurate.
The Gina shit. The Gina chick. Was it Gina Rodriguez too?
I don't know about that, but I know Michelle Rodriguez. I know who you talking about.
Yeah,
but that's
she
not
said
her.
some
that's
shit.
American
It's a different person
or somebody. It's one of them other. No. I know who you talking about.
She said some shit about black superheroes.
Yeah.
But I'm sticking with Michelle right now. Michelle has said some shit before. I don't know. I can't quote her shit before, but I know this one. And bitch, shut the fuck up.
No, this is about her 5th or 87th wrong thing that she said in the last. 2
And it's
weeks.
like, my G, what is your issue? Just say you don't like black women or black people. Like,
but that's the
just get it
same
off.
thing about the same chick that you saying though about.
Yeah, just get
God
that off. You don't gotta, like, just-
I want to
just
hear her
get-
name. Where she cut off a black woman during. She cut off a young black girl during was it with The View or something. She cut her off and was like, they asked her, how do you feel about being such a young representation for black women? And she was like, for all women, and like cut her off.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
but
just
that's
like,
what you're
yeah,
the girl you're talking about, to give that context. The woman
I
want to
say her name is Gina Rodriguez too.
Maybe, possibly.
I don't know though. I
don't know.
for
We'll
sure,
add it.
so
We
we'll-
always
yeah.
put a bunch of hashtags in the fucking
I just want y'all to know, fuck y'all.
in the title.
Like, yeah, y'all might do good work. I enjoy watching Fast and Furious go from. Hang on. I enjoy like them going from fucking regular street races to some kind of fucking special ops shield group. But Michelle with this bullshit, bro. Like, what is your problem? Like, just say what your issue is, my G. Because the shit you popping off on, like, he kissed her in the mouth. Like, your favorite fucking. They said that shit on Brilliant. Like, your favorite fucking bullshit ass. A slave owner wasn't flat out raping black women and having black daughters and not fucking claiming them. Like, motherfuckers through civil rights wasn't punching black women in the head. Like, as much as you was throwing bricks and washing down niggas, you was raping black women too. Like, that's some bullshit, and niggas is not, and letting her live with that. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't think niggas is letting her live. I don't think her
black
world,
women.
I don't think her world. I
here.
think she crossed over a line that wasn't. I think she crossed over into a popular culture world that she didn't know intersected with a black world. Maybe she even did fucking know it intersected with a black world. Maybe she was trying to make that point. Of course. Stop. Hold on. Let me tell my motherfucking self stop and tell myself that I'm on some bullshit right there. Let me stop really quick and call myself on my own shit. T.I. versus Tip moment. Nigga, clearly she knew she was on some bullshit. This is a conversation with myself. Clearly, nigga, she knew it was on some intersection of popular culture and black shit, because the whole fucking comment was about Liam Neeson saying something about black people. So clearly she fucking knew that. So let me stop myself right there before I make that dumbass comment. She was stupid as fuck for making that comment. Let me just stop right there.
Whatever black thing she got against, like, she should just get that off. Like, you could have that conversation, but like Liam Neeson shit, because Liam could have said any, like, they once again.
I just don't think she in a world of black history. I think black shit intersected popular culture, and she just jumped in to give her opinion as a motherfucker who's involved with popular culture.
I think somebody took a job from her one time, and she was just has never let that shit go. Cause this shit wild as fuck. Like, even Brilliant Idiot said, like, even the way Liam handled it, bro, you could have said anything, like, somebody raped my friend or whatever, and I was mad as fuck about it. That nigga went out of his way to go, like, I'm going to fuck up. I don't even know what the statement originally was, but it was like, I'm gonna fuck up like a black person or
a black bastard.
Yeah, like you were identifying that with blackness, like, and if you know, like,
and he said he had a God damn, I forgot what the word is that in the UK they use for it, but basically he was walking around with like a club or a bat or like a big ass
and
stick.
then like they talked about like, oh, I come from a history of, just say like you come from a history of, like, I don't know, what is he, Scottish, Irish, racist, you was born in racism, bro. Like, you of a certain, like, I'm not
I
gonna
come
lie.
from a history of Panthers, bro. What does that mean?
Yeah, you of a certain age. Like, I already assigned you as racist. Like, you were brought up racist. That's your job to fix that shit.
And
like,
my thing is, like, people who think that is getting them off, understand at the moment you go, I did some racist shit because I was raised racist. We for the most part, you're getting categorized as a racist until you prove otherwise, because everything you just said was, I was raised foundationally, morally rooted in racist shit, and I still exude racist qualities and behaviors at intense moments in my life, which usually prove who you are at your truest core. You're fucking racist.
I was a learned piece of shit as opposed to you still a piece of shit.
I'm a learned, but you're not only saying I'm a learned piece of shit, you're a learned and practiced piece of shit. That's like saying, like, that's the same problem we have with R. Kelly. You got abused and then you grew up to be an abuser. You don't get a fucking pass.
Yeah, bro.
You don't get a fucking pass. You can't say I was bred to be a fucking racist and I grew up to still exude racist fucking acts, but I'm not racist though. I'm not racist.
We don't give Liam
That's
enough
not
credit.
how that fucking work. You can't be like, I was raised to be a murderer and I turned out to be a murderer, or I turned out to commit murders, but I'm not a fucking murderer.
That nigga said, I got a certain set of skills, lost his daughter twice, got his wife killed, and you know what? That nigga was Qui-Gon, and he gave us Darth Vader, and he killed younglings because he wanted to train Darth. You know what? Liam been fucking up for a while, movie wise and everything. You know who hasn't been fucking up? Robert McCall. Robert fucked up a Home Depot full of assassins. He gave us great jazz music. Robert McCall over Brian Mills, 100%.
Cool. But at the end of the day, my nigga, you can't tell me that you do racist shit, but you're not fucking, like, I don't know, my nigga. You can't tell me, like, I was raised in a racist house. I was raised in a Klan
I ain't gonna hold you up.
Yeah,
like,
get
just
the fuck
like,
out of here.
I'm not gonna even get no jokes off. Like, I am just like, okay, there is a.
I'm gonna leave the jokes to you on this one because
I don't have no jokes. I don't have no jokes right now.
Too much logic in that one for that.
There's just like as an entire whole black man living life, like I understand that there is just racism like every door. I understand that my life is lived in a certain realm that motherfuckers I might have to explain to the, you know, whoever the fuck who doesn't understand that, which is just choosing not to understand it. But if you're from a certain age bracket, especially if you're from a certain age bracket, I just assume that you think a certain way. If you chose to think that way and turned it, I give you like mad props because you like.
I'm still.
But yeah, like Liam Neeson, like I don't know this. As much as motherfuckers like, wow, Liam Neeson, I'm like, if you think about it, if you took 10 minutes to think about it, Liam Neeson is well over 55 or whatever the fuck. He's from like what, Scotland, Ireland. Like nobody really fucks with us over there. Like this whole him like saying that this is him on a regular basis. He just never had the opportunity to because, you know, movies and money.
This is my thing though, my nigga. When I meet white people over a certain age, certain people over a certain age that are not black. Fuck it. I'm not even just gonna say white. Just certain people over a certain age that are not black.
Yeah, all of y'all weren't Bernie. Y'all weren't marching.
Yeah, I be like, how many of y'all go take credit for being the 1,000 white people, the 1,000 Asian, whatever you was? How many of y'all gonna take credit for being those amount of people that was not racist?
Like, and this is not somebody who doesn't have white parents.
I love to work with 70-year-old white people and 60-year-old white people and shit that want to convince me they not racist.
I'm not even talking about that. I got white friends, people I really fuck with who are cool, people who are white, but y'all not gonna sit here and really try to sell me that your granny, like all of you. All of you. I got, like, as I said that, I'm thinking of at least over 10 of y'all. None of y'all can tell me that out of all 10 of y'all, that all of your grannies and granddads was the ones who was like, that's wrong what they did to Martin. No, man, you gotta, like, I don't know, part of me just sits and thinks, like, do you ever like wonder what does it feel like to realize that you maybe have to be the first person to really genuinely be like, hey, granny, I love you to death, but that shit you was living was full of shit. Or kind of come to terms with the fact that your granny or grandpa or pop was a fucking racist fuck. It might still be a racist fuck. He just know that he can't be a racist fuck out loud like he used to be.
It's quite uncomfortable in 2019.
I don't know. I ain't even gonna press none of y'all because it ain't really like, you know, it ain't gonna ruin my day. But, you know, I'm just...
Think about it. But yeah, that be my thing. It's like I don't give a fuck. I be wanting to know, like, how many of y'all really be feeling like, yo, like you that exclusion, like you the one that like got the like freedom writer grandmother, mother, whatever the fuck age group we in now. Like, how many of y'all really gonna carry that shit and think that y'all people wasn't this or that? Like, no, they just can't tell you that in 2019, my nigga. Like, that be my shit. Like,
15%.
And even those that I work with, those that I walk down the streets and shop with, those that I fucking have to cross in a grocery store, like, we don't believe you.
Somebody would have to really argue me. Like, it's 15% of y'all, like, nationally, that's grandparents are Jane Elliott. And that's
boom
on a good day. Nationally, if I take a trip from Sacramento all the way to
that's
New York
on God
City,
and them, and I don't even know who in them is,
bruh. It's 15% of y'all tops. And you just got to come to terms. It's cool. Like, if they made the change, cool, make the honest change. But like don't sit up here. I don't know. It's just weird. Don't play me like your granny was out here really, really with the shits, getting punched in the face with my auntie and granny and them. Like, that's not true.
I know for a fact they wasn't doing that, but don't tell me that they just wasn't watching on the TV, like they was watching on TV and having complete empathy and all that shit. Like, I know they want to get punched in the face with them, but don't try to lie to me and tell me like now that they was like
exactly. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Like, don't bullshit a bullshitter, folks.
I've yet to meet a motherfucker that go as far to be like, oh, my grandmother and them got punched too, like, or I ain't went that far. I ain't met nobody that was willing to go that far yet. But I've, you know what I'm saying, like, you encounter motherfuckers that want to convince you that they're from. I'm 75 or from Texas. I live in Los Angeles now, and I'm your boss. But guess what? I've never ever in my life.
Nah, you got it, fam.
Yeah,
you got it. I'm chill. Like
I be like, cool, man. My name Neil Armstrong. I landed on the moon. Nice to meet you, bro. I just figured since you was doing it, I should do it too.
Wow. Yes. Yeah.
Welcome to a nigga like my name is Jon Snow. The fuck out of here. I'm not here for that.
You told a nigga winter is here.
Clearly, my nigga, you cold enough to tell me that, nigga. Winter is here.
Right the fuck now.
Be so appalled. 75-year-old nigga in Santa Monica telling you, looking at you crazy. You tell him like, damn, bro, you look racist.
Yeah, I'm not even shitting on I'm not even 100% shitting. I think there should be. I think I would be cool if there was like not cool like I'm here for it, but like if everybody just had their Liam moment. So you know where everybody stands. I can build with you from a Liam. But if you walk through your whole life pretending not to be Liam, I can't fuck with you because you full of shit. Like Liam had his honest, I wanted to go out and like, beat up niggas moment. I know where to place Liam in my life.
But at the same time, it was mad people around here like defending Liam like, oh, black people act like black people ain't never been mad at black people. Like that's not the fucking point we talking about. When black people get mad at black people, you know who we want to go get? We want to go get that nigga.
Yeah,
we want to get that black person.
Like
he was talking about going down the street and just getting any black person he seen. First one I seen, it was going down.
All he had to say is, "I want to get the person who fucked him." He wanted to get black.
That'd
people.
be my thing, and exactly how easy it was for you just to say all he had to say was this. That's the same point I'm making. Yep. I walked down the street and I wanted to get the motherfucker who she described. I was gonna look for anybody that was wearing a gray hoodie. Whatever the fuck, that would have even been more specific to me. You just was like, yo, any black person was gonna get this smoke.
Shout out to good old Killer Mike. But like when you saw the episode of Killer Mike talking to the old lady in the old folks home, she talked about how like she still looked at black people as a threat, which kind of speaks to like the Liam Neeson thing. My thing
trigger
is
warning.
Trigger warning. My thing is, y'all don't have grounds to look at us that way except for the lies you've told to shit on us, which come from racism.
That was the same point Killer Mike was making, was like all school shooters and mass shooters are like 97% white.
School shooters, mass shooters, civil rights, racism. I have actual physical documented proof. I can go to every age group in my fucking family and have a different story on how white people have fucked their life up. I find your granny and like whatever she feels about niggas or whatever, or your fucking pop. He doesn't have a real reason why he doesn't like niggas other than the reason his homeboy put in the media to talk shit about us. So yeah,
boom. Like you.
I don't respect that.
You believe in a fairy tale. Like granted,
is flowing.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. Nigga left me mid conversation. But yeah, like for me, some of that shit be like shit that's just like you believe in fairy tales. Like you around here telling me like Jack and the Beanstalk and shit, your myths about like what black people are and what black people are doing. And in reality, like when you look at it, like the statistics are the statistics for the reason. And granted, there are skewed stats, but when we get down to the nitty gritty of it, like what you see every day. And granted, that may be depending on your outlet as well. Like you got to look at some of these outlets that people are getting their information from as well too. So she's somebody I think, excuse me if I'm not quoted correctly, but I believe she was somebody that expressed that her main news outlet was Fox News. If I'm correct, I may not be. I've been drinking, but yeah. So I just think a lot of that shit be that like you grow up in a certain era, and that just be my whole shit. Like don't try to tell me that you the one person, your grandmother's the one person, your mother's the one person. Like I'm not gonna hold that shit against you. Like I understand that if you and I have gotten that into the depths of a conversation that far, like you don't at this time exude the qualities of that person. Granted that doesn't mean you don't have some inherent bad traits that you may not know that you display, but that's basically me saying that I understand that you're trying to make an active effort to combat that, if that is something that inherently you have gotten from your parents and their bad upbringing and their toxic upbringings. Because again, as much as we in the black community talk about our toxic upbringings and identify with the things that we know, the bad traits that we know we have inherently gotten from ours, I think we provide a level, especially the newer generation of black people, we provide with the understanding, I guess what I'm saying now is like the understanding of black toxicity that has ran through our generations. Mm-hmm. We provide a certain level of understanding and acceptance to white toxicity, and anybody who's not black toxicity, who's generationally ran through their culture or their family.
I don't know. I realize sometimes I've said that, like I've tapped like I was going to talk about that, but like I've talked about that with y'all, just about our tendency to, which I think has fucked us up for like generations. And
that don't mean you can invite them to the barbecue. Granted, like I said, the barbecue was packed still.
But even the barbecue thing, our tendency to.
I was watching Amanda Seales. She said you got to be a hard ally. Like if I date a white man, you got to be like he got to make Tupac look like a Mickey Mouse and shit. Like
she makes a good fucking point. Yeah. I think we come from a culture of love, and I think our tendency to show love to everybody turns to our detriment, because we just turn that into come with us, motherfuckers be like,
black people have always been society's moral compass. Like society cannot like exist
we give
without
that
some
to
level
everybody,
of love.
And we bring everybody in, but everybody doesn't feel that way towards us. And it turns
but
into
at
our
the
detriment.
same time, again, that's what I say about the youth, the younger generation of black people. We are understanding of the toxicity that we exude through just for ours. It could be emotional immaturity. It could
is
be
our toxicity. I thought about that today. Sorry not to cut you off. Mm-hmm. Is our toxicity? Is it ours generally, or is it what has been pressed upon us by like just being really pressed from outside? Because by ourselves, it's like yours. Here's my thing. When motherfuckers talk about like toxic, like masculinity and everything, I'm like, was that ours originally? Because like we are one of the. I would say like whenever you think about it, it's like everybody mama got one of those posters with like the black queens. Like we were a people of like matriarchies and had like, women. Like everybody talks about Cleopatra, but there was more than Cleopatra that ran countries, and it was fully functional having a woman at the head. Was that something generally us, or was that something brought upon us as far as like treating women like shit and not understanding like duality between the both of us and getting all in the men and feminine energies and all that shit? I feel like we had a good beat on that until we used, like I said before, us being too loving and bringing in people who didn't understand that and letting that corrupt us. I got really deep for no reason.
No, I completely understand why you went deep. I completely understand why you went deep. And I'm going to just simply say this. You're a man that believes too much in accountability. For me, let me say this. There is a large segment of us, and when I say us, I mean black men, I mean men in general, that have not exuded the proper respect for women. So I'm not even gonna go there with all of that. Like I'm a motherfucker.
I'm not giving those who haven't exuded that credit.
I'm saying is this: I'm a motherfucking here today, motherfucker. Like you gotta take accountability for the shit here today. You can't tell me like if somebody tried to tell you like, yo, I can't communicate because. Let me grab the book. Okay, so this is my great-great-great-great-grandmother. And she came from circumstances in South Carolina. You would be like, get the fuck out of here.
Great might not make sense, but the grandfather thing makes sense.
You can't tell me you respect black women. You can't tell me you respect women because of Cleopatra and you black.
No. Mine is not because of Cleopatra. When I see like a lot of people talk different things, I understand it because I have the ability to understand people's perspective. But for me,
did you exude the traits?
Yeah, see, but my thing is,
you exude the traits that people are communicating to you that are masculine toxicity. So this is my thing. As a man, we've always, and in personal conversations, we've always talked about accountability. And the only motherfucker that can tell you that you doing something wrong is me. And you can't tell me that. You can't deflect that by going, no, I can't be doing that to you because it is. So if women are saying this, the only thing I can do is shut the fuck up and listen. I can't deflect that with nothing else. I can't deflect that with, oh, this is not me. No. If you're telling me that this is your story and this is what you've gone through and this is what you don't appreciate and this is what you want to stop and this is what the opportunities you want, whatever the fuck it is, I can't sit here and fucking tell you. I have to at least let you express that.
I would
Like,
never.
and
I would never
have
take
to
that
listen.
from
No,
somebody.
I'm saying I have to listen to that, and I think it's a proper time to dispute that, and I think it's a proper thing. I think it's proper things to dispute that with, and I just don't think it's a proper time to dispute that. Number two, I just don't think that's the proper shit to dispute it with. I think we as a community have displayed toxic behaviors, and even if those behaviors are being silent, as much as we get on white people and go, if you're silent about discriminative acts against black people, you are compliant. Like, I mean, or you are like involved. Like, I'm sorry, I'm drunk. But at the same time, as a man, if you've known of a coworker getting paid less than you, a female coworker getting paid less than you, if you've seen a female coworker getting worse treatment than you, and you go, oh, just be one of the guys and just join the club, just curse a little more, they'll let you just be involved and don't be so uptight. You've been involved, like you've been a part of this. So my thing is, like, it's not so much just, oh, I ain't never called a black woman no bitch. All black women are queens. Yeah, but have you known about things that if a white counterpart knew about you getting paid less than them and just was like, oh man, just be cool, man, you're just rocking the boat, you wouldn't be okay with that. So if it's a female counterpart that you knew about that and you were complacent and you were involved in that, if you were somebody that was fucking somebody that knew she was getting worse treatment, or that the boss was, when he introduced you, he didn't fucking put his hands on you, but when he introduced you, he touched your lower back, you were complacent in that fucking shit. Like, you were involved in that shit. And that's just my part where I'm saying, like, I've seen that and I've been involved in that and I've done that. So I'm not a motherfucker that's gonna sit here, because I'm not somebody that's just going, oh well, 8 out of 10 I didn't do, so I've only been 20% wrong, so I'm good, right? I'm good. I can fucking skate out of here, because 20% is an F. So if I got 20% wrong, like no, fuck that. Like, I still need to learn, and if I gotta listen to the whole fucking speech to get this one piece in the middle about the two fucking things I did wrong, I just gotta sit through the shit. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. So I understand that I'm not exuding every trait that is toxic masculinity. I understand I'm not exuding every trait that is disrespectful to women. But I understand that in the middle, they're not going to address my part until the middle of the speech. So if it's like, if I'm at the graduation and my kid like don't graduate until the G's, like, I got to sit through the A, B, C, D, E, F, and then I can fucking hear my part. And then if after that, I could be like, oh, I didn't do that. But even for that, I still got to sit through, because I might hear some shit that I don't know I do.
I'm in no way opposed to getting just due, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to really remember what my point was, because I lost it because I was too busy.
Me as well. I ran it. I'm sorry,
because I was too busy listening.
I appreciate that. If you
because I fucked with everything you said, because like what you said really, like, it made it, like, it hit home, and then like hit home because my nigga said it. Like, even if I'm not a part of a certain thing, like, I listen to something even if I didn't do that, but I understand that happens. Fuck, I don't even know where the fuck I was going, because like I know it had something to do with.
Are we really displaying toxic masculinity that is our own trait? The traits of toxic masculinity that we I
do think there is a point where, like, toxic, but I know some of that does come from my upbringing. I think that is where I was trying to take it, because I think some of the because there's like you'll see like posts about some of the things that are with masculinity might not have originally been ours. It might have been like something from, white culture, and then we adopted. But like, I know me personally, but I am, and I put a lot of my personal experience on things, and I understand that my personal experience is maybe different or privileged to most. Cause like my grandfather drove trucks for a hot minute. Then he got on with MTA. But I remember watching my grandmother own her own business. She went to beauty school. She did hair. I remember walking with her to her own shop that she owned and doing. So like the idea that, like, I understand that they exist, but in my life, I don't know what a weak woman looks like.
And I understand that, but that be personal experiences that we be wanting to apply to the world, and I completely understand. And
I try to separate those, but sometimes that is what raised me. That is what instilled. I understand the power of women, and not just like a woman raised me. No, nigga. I understand what it looks like to watch a black woman own her own business. I understand what it looks like for her to be equal with her mate, but they don't impose on each other's. I don't know, rose is probably it's a triggering word, but he knew what he did in this, she knew what he did in this, and they worked together. They were like puzzle pieces.
It was a mutual respect for both sides.
Yeah, I look at them like puzzle pieces. It wasn't like a woman trying to jump into man's space, I can cover this space, but I fuck up here. You cover this space because you're better than me there, and they worked as a unit. Like I understand
They were
that.
complimentary.
Yeah. So when sometimes even my parents who are divorced, when they were divorced, not like, well, whatever reason they were divorced, but I even watched them, like even in co-parenting me and my sister, like I've seen that. So when I like see some of these statements, I'm like, I understand, I respect your narrative, but I also understand that there is a really close, it's not even like some far off shit I like in a book, like it's something near to my life. I see where this realm works. So where is the disconnect?
And I completely understand what you're saying, but my whole thing is, and even for myself, like, but that's my personal experience. But you have to remember to not. Number one, you can't apply your personal experience to everybody because number one, that's your personal experience.
True.
And then number two, that comes with perspective as well. It's your perspective of what creates an independent woman or a strong woman or a good dynamic or whatever it is. That's a certain perspective or a certain opinion that you have of that. You can have somebody that can see that exact same situation, take something from that and be like, but nah, that wasn't true independence. That wasn't true this. So that's my whole thing, and that's my whole understanding is that I have my experiences, and I grew up in a matriarch family. Like my mother's side of my family is all complete women. Like, you know, there isn't a man in my family from my great grandfather until my cousin that is 3 months older than me. Everything in between that is all women. So, and it's 9 women in between that, 10 women in between that, some shit like that. But my whole point is like, that's my experience as well, and seeing nothing but strong women. In my house, I seen no gender roles. Like my father is one of the best people I've ever known to bake a cake. Like my father can bake better than any fucking person. Like I put my
father cooks better than my mother does.
Yes, absolutely. My father as well. But at the same time, I grew up. When we first bought our house in Compton, I fucking remember my mother going in the backyard and chopping down a tree we had, and me having to go every day. Like this tree was fucking huge, so big that we like when it finally got cut down, we had to call somebody, like harnessed it for its fall. Like I remember every day going in the backyard and working with my mother to chop down that tree. I didn't grow up with real gender roles in my house. Like it was whoever was better at doing this job was going to do it. So 100%, that's my experience as well. But at the same time, I understand that's not everyone's experience for a variety of different reasons. So I understand my understanding, my experience, my opinions of it. But I still understand that, like, number one, that's not the vast majority. And number two, that's just mine. Like, even if it is whatever percentage of other people that have that same experience, I'm sure it differs in some type of way. And through their experiences and their opinions, they're going to feel some type of way about that same experience. They can look at my experience and be like, yeah, but they did that because your father was a weak man. And that's your thing. I can't discount that.
At what point do you have to really, like, take account for somebody else's trauma or, you know, not to say anybody's upbringing is better than the others, but like what you just said, there's a difference between like a weak father and you portraying my father as weak because of your traumatic background. At what point do you just kind of like not leave it aside, but just, I don't know another way to say, and this is shout out to Hennessy, but not acknowledge it as that important because you're saying this from a place of hurt and because you're not ready to acknowledge that what I'm saying might be right, but me being right does kind of put your entire upbringing or existence on the table to be flipped on this fucking head.
I think for me, what I always do, I have a phrase, just consider the source. Like it's considered a source. And again, that goes based off my experiences and my opinion. If I'm somebody who I listen to your situation, your upbringing, and I consider everything that is involved with that or as many factors that I can see or pinpoint that I can identify as intersections of where things may be involved, I just go based off considering that. And if for me,
yeah, I don't know, there's just a lot of people who go,
if for me through my experiences and my situations, I can deduce that like you're somebody that's just in a position that's seeing this with not with a clear eyes view.
Yeah, people go like, this is my life upbringing, this is how I lived it, but it's like you're not recognizing that what you're speaking on is trauma. That's not a way you should have lived that life. You lived through a certain trauma and came out better than most.
I do that with the same thing that those people are judging what my situation is as trauma. I do that with an opinion, and I do that with my experiences. And again, that may not make it 100% right, but my shit just be like, yo, okay, cool. From what I can take away from what you're saying, in my world, I take away from this trauma. That doesn't mean I'm labeling you, but at this point, that just means that like I gotta let you live with your opinion. I can't debate you on your opinion, because I gotta understand from what I can take from your experiences, what you're saying in my world. I conclude that as trauma. Like I process that and equate that to trauma. So I understand a traumatic person won't be able to have the type of conversation I want to have and be able to digest the points that I have. So it's just truly a consider the source situation. And it's like, all right, this is who I'm talking to. Like I've talked to somebody not too long ago, and I was like, what was it? Yesterday. Oh no, I was talking to somebody yesterday in the barbershop, on Friday in the barbershop, because they were talking. Well, it was yesterday in a barbershop because they were talking about you know, the commercial about the two NFL players that opened a cupcake shop. Like we was playing it, for now we own like cupcakes.
Yeah,
they were in the barbershop. They was like, oh man, I can't watch that shit. Like these niggas is baking. Like, oh, these niggas is
you
like,
can't pay?
Like homosexual. Exactly.
Oh shit.
Exactly. And in my head, they was like, they were like, the topic of homosexuality came up, and of course it's in the barbershop, so you know it's unfiltered. And they were just like, you know, we don't want to. Some people were like, we don't want to do no gay people, blah blah blah. And one of the persons was a barber, and they were like, well, what if your client is gay? Like, what you gonna do? You don't want to fucking deal with them because they're gay.
Not even that. That's just a really small box of
completely understand. We just gonna we have to, like, that's step one shit. We got to be on step 3 to be able for me to get through this story. We like, so for me, I was like, yo, every day people got to work with people they don't agree with on a variety of different things. You got to work with people that's racist, people that's homosexual, people that do sexual things that you don't agree with. Like, it's a bunch of, like, vote different than you, drive different cars, and have different financial values than you, all that shit. You got to live with a bunch of different people, work with a bunch of different people. God damn, lost my whole train of thought. But
it's liquor.
God,
still good.
Damn, man. I felt like shit was going somewhere at a point right there.
It was.
But yeah, my whole point to them was just like, you can't, like, why with that specific topic? Like, you can't, fuck.
I don't know. Baking cakes is like really low level. Like,
damn, man. But
some of the most masculine niggas is cooks.
I'm sorry, whoever listened to this. We like 2 hours in.
Yeah, but
and I just fucking hour and 40, and I just fucked that up. I'm sorry. I was going
not really, because it's still like a really low bar for what you consider what it means to be a man. Like, I was watching, like I said last week, like I was watching, like I really fuck with, like, I watch a variety of shows to try to like get inspiration and shit. But like, I was watching the Zoe What show, and they had a conversation. They have a lot of conversations about manhood and like all that other shit. But just in taking a theme from that, baking a cake is, like, to me, just such a low bar on what your barometer is for like manhood and like whatever. Because I know the conversation came like, what does it mean to be a man? Like, to me, sometimes, like, it's not even. Oh no, and then I heard that on like the Brilliant Idiots, like, what is masculinity and what is a man to you and shit like that. And like, it is kind of like, I think, like an ongoing topic that should maybe have more conversation about it. Cause and once again, it'll still boil down to like personal experience, personal preference. But like, I sometimes just for like a base level of like a person with a certain level of honor and codes and ethics. Cause you always kind of look at, even as a child, like you might look at your favorite hero, like Superman or He-Man or whatever the fuck. There's like ethics and honor that go with it. Like when your father or your granddaddy or whatever talk about hood niggas in their day, and the difference between them and like niggas now is there's a code of ethics and there's an honor. There was almost an honor to being like a hood nigga. Like, you didn't do certain shit, you didn't fuck with certain people, you didn't fuck with civilians. And they talk about like niggas now, like you might go out and like, you know, bust an old lady in the head. That wouldn't happen in like, you know, 72 or whatever. So sometimes I just think about like that as like not exactly like what your whole synopsis is built upon, but like what you base on. Like a code of ethics is what, because anytime anybody talks about what it means to be a man, it starts off in some honor bound shit. Like, niggas talk about it like you still pull swords out and shit. It ain't even the cutting of the sword and like cutting niggas' heads off. It's the honor based thing built around that system that is supposed to make you who you are.
You don't feel like that should be shifting?
It does shift. Everybody shifts it to personal preference.
No, not even personal preference. Through time, you don't feel like that shifts. Because I feel like, for me, when I be hearing shit like that, I be feeling like, yo, even a motherfucking like I watch a lot of documentaries and shit. Like through the times, even like La Cosa Nostra and shit, like niggas in the mob and shit end up telling and breaking the old country rules and shit. And every empire falls, and you just have to adapt to every generation's idea of shit. And you don't think that shit kind of like you have to evolve with the idea, like the idea of masculinity, the idea of being a man. Some of that should be expired. Like I was watching I was watching something today, and a guy, like, it was on IG. It was just a quick thing. And he was like, men have to stop being cowards and men have to stop being this. But like, what is your line of accountability that you be one? Because I feel like it's a convenience of like, you want men to be this, but at the same time you want them to be this. And I'm like, those dualities don't really exist.
I think
you have to cancel one for other to live.
I think some shit is accountability. And yes, we are looking at this through a lens of, like you said, La Cosa Nostra. I'd even said like gangsters and gangbangers themselves. Like we're looking at this through a lens of something that is not beneficial to you personally. Like it is something that will always at the end, fuck you and bite you in the ass. But the idea that you should live through a set of morals and through a set of like, even to tie it into me being like a geek shit, I play a lot of like, you play fantasy games on this other shit. All these knights and shit, they had like a code of honor. Like, when you think of what it means to be a man and masculinity, like, you talk about it in a sense of, like, you have this honor code. That's what makes you a man. Like, you don't do certain shit. And I think that is something that...
But not to cut you off, and I'm so sorry. But when you're man, like, there's always going to be intersections of your man honor code. Like, one of my favorite books of all time is The 48 Laws of Power. 48 Laws of Power have a lot of contradicting rules. My whole thing is that with your masculinity, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to coming like crosshairs. They're going to come in intersections. So there's times where you just look at even the most simple hood tales, and it's just my quickest one I give off top of the head. Some drug dealers who have to possibly tell on their best of friends to be able to be home for their wives and children. That's the intersection of both of the things you know as a man, of loyalty and stand up and don't tell, but also or the old rules of a man. But also at the same time, take care of your family, be there for your wife and your kid, but also be accountable for your actions. Like, you come to those crossroads. So that's my thing. Like, do you ever think there's an expiration date on some of these old identities of like masculinity?
I guess that depends on the life you live. Because in that scenario, if you're choosing...
And it doesn't always come down to a courtroom thing. It could sometimes come down to a business thing. Do you take this business trip on your son's graduation day or on his baseball championship day? And how that's going to affect your wife, and she's been complaining about you been working too much and doing your normal, regular 9 to 5 that requires you to fly and be a CEO or whatever. Like, what about those intersections?
And I'm saying this as a non-CEO and as a nigga who has never and does not sell drugs. If I'm a CEO, I feel like this comes with... And like we've talked about, maybe not on here, but in private, like I'm big on, I know everybody has their dishonest moments, but at moments that you can really be, and I'm not just saying honest, like I stole the goddamn Snickers bar today. As open and as honest as you can be with your wife, with your woman, with your man, like emotionally as who you are as a person, you explain like, I'm going to go on this business trip. And when you see it in movies, I always think that they like are really fucking it off, but you doing that for the scene. I'm going on this business trip because this house this is an $800,000 home. The mortgage on this motherfucker is this. I did this month. We spent this month. I would literally, if a motherfucker came in and said, look, bro, I would take your right arm and you can go to your son's baseball games. I would do that, but I cannot. And that's also a whole nother topic of, when you watch this movie, it's like, you don't work, baby. So we got a whole nother thing here.
And that's a whole nother thing when you're trying to explain that to somebody who's emotional. Like, that's what
I'm
saying.
But see, in my mind, I'm like, and maybe I'm being lofty, but if I'm with somebody, I need to have a space where we can literally talk about all of this, and I can be open with you, and you're not gonna leave me like I'm telling you, this is how I feel. This is my job. I love you. I love my son. I love our family. I have to do this, otherwise, this house goes up in smoke. Our way of living goes up in smoke. That's to that scenario of the businessman. To the scenario of what was the scenario you said about like
not even that. Like, that's just my whole point, is those intersections. Those intersections of
that's
like
why I speak of
old
like,
school masculinity and new school times.
That's why I speak of, and I almost talk about it's almost beside masculinity because honor is a thing that you can handle as like I think you've talked about this one time about me. Like maybe I don't know if it like I pay attention as much as I can in this like you like there's an honor in what you say. Word like the word is bond. Like that's all you had. Like I don't like I'm not balling. Like sometimes all I have is yo E. Like I'll get you with this. Like if I say I'm gonna be somewhere, I'm gonna be somewhere. So you have to live your life by a set of principles. That to me is what I've always seen with uncles, with my father, with whatever, living by a code, like standing on your word. So whether you sell drugs or you sell stocks, like your word is what you stand on. If I say like I gotta go to this meeting, babe, and whoop whoop whoop, then she gotta understand that because I'm a man of my word. If you're a nigga in the street, that's why I say like old niggas tell stories like my uncles or cousins or whatever who might have, you know, known somebody who was ever, as opposed to niggas now, it's a different set of ethics because they live their life a different way. So I just say I don't know.
But again, that's to my point right there. They had a different set of ethics because they lived their life a different type of way. Generationally, we have to live our life a different type of way. We live our life with a different type of women. We live our life in with a different type of children, with a different type of evolution, with a different type of technology, with a different type of everything. Mm-hmm. The same way we gave men the leeway of they are in different occupations in the same time. They live different lifestyles, but all in the same time. We give leeway to that. What I'm saying is, do we have to give ourselves a leeway going, we live in a different generation than you, grandpa or dad or uncle or brother? Like, we live in a whole different generation. So I understand the ethics and the morals of, I don't fuck with no gay people. But guess what? My boss gay, bro. And so when he comes in stressed, guess what? Sometimes it's going to be like, me and my husband just had an argument. Or she's going to be like, me and my wife just had an argument. So I can't be like, I don't fuck with no gay people. Because just in my pedestrian life in this world now, I have to encounter that. So I can't walk around with your set of ethics. Like, I remember growing up one time, like, I was young. It was like, and I've never known my father to ever have an issue with gay people. But we were at McDonald's. And it was a gay man that was just so, like, overtly flirting with my father that my father like got uncomfortable and was just like, fuck the food, and just like, come on, we leaving. And like he was just like, motherfucking gay man. Like he didn't say like the F word or like no disrespectful shit. He was motherfucking gay man flirt. And it was just like one of those like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's that, you know what I'm saying? Like
I still think that could maybe I know there's a way to probably boil this back.
As much
down.
as you was willing to be in you thought you were willing to be in a world with these people and you were willing to be a part of an evolved world. Like your ethics, your old school ethics still met a cross section of a world that you were not evolved for, or a world that was before. Or
well, you said the guy was talking to him. I don't know. I think I kind of put that in the same realm as like when women talk about catcalling. I don't know what your father did. If your father was like, "Hey, bro, like respect you," like, and I know that might not have been different back then. You live how you live, but I'm not of that.
But that's what I'm saying though, is the idea of even being able to reject a gay man wasn't, his ethics wasn't evolved enough to even be able to identify with being able to reject a gay man. His ethics and ideas were still that of like, I'm gonna get freaked out. Like this freaks me out. Like, and I've seen my father, like I've seen women and people like flirt with my father. My father gracefully like, nah, no thank you, sidestepping, I'm good, married, boom, it's my son, whatever.
Certain shit I do attribute to the time, like as much as people want to talk about it, like.
But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes from your time you want to teach me a lesson, but your lesson is only for your time. It's expired for my time.
Well, that's what I would like to say, like there are certain things I think like how am I trying to put this? You are a slave to your time in certain ways, but I think there are certain things that transcend time. Like, you know, murder is murder, no matter if you murdered in 620 BC or you murder right now. So, it's not that deep. I made it solid. Really, but I'm saying, like, I think and I don't know, once again, like, this is a lofty idea. I think they're lofty ideal, but I think there are certain things that if you try to focus, and I'm not saying like I don't even have a beat on it right now as we talk, but if you focus on principles, I guess, that are honor bound on what it means to be a upstanding, honorable man, those things should transcend time. I know, not like I said, not to just go out and murder a motherfucker. I know that there are certain things when you and me talk, there's a level of respect to give you as my best friend. There's a level of respect that I give a man in the street, because I know that if I don't give him that respect, there's a realm where we get knuckling in the street. I don't give a fuck what time period it is. So I feel like there's a way where you put those together. Your father, my father, your grandfather, my grandfather being a bit homophobic is like on the side of that.
But what I'm saying is, it's surface level. It's surface level. It's homosexuality. But what I guess I'm saying is simple things that come from simple things that we are taught from those people that compromise our masculinity that we no longer believe in. Like, that's what I'm saying is like those things, like your woman making more than you. Like, are you really the head of the household? On like, you're not the head of the household on shit because, you know, certain shit figuratively on paper and filling out your taxes and certain shit. It's like, who makes more and who does this? Like, those are certain things that come inherently with our masculinity. Like that.
Yeah, I think that starts.
And those are expired. And some identities, those are expired things. Like,
well, to me, that I know. Yeah, see, that boils down to personal preference of masculinity. Because I've talked to niggas my age or older, or younger that put.
That's top surface. But what I'm saying is that the idea of what you were taught and something in today's age compromising your masculinity. Like, so that's what I'm saying is the idea and the concept of you don't let anything compromise your masculinity. But some of the things you identify as masculinity in this day and age naturally are going to have to be compromised just for you to exist as a normal being. That is what I'm saying. And for some people, and this is just like, that's what I say, that was a broad example I was giving with the homosexuality. Mm-hmm. But for some people, it's just to interact with them, period, is a compromising of your masculinity. But there are now intersections in your daily life where people are now outly homosexual and you have to intersect and deal with these people. That's what I'm saying. There's a certain things now that you have to deal with that you are taught and raised is like might compromise your masculinity. Is somebody step on your shoe or fighting. The idea of fighting now as a man, like fighting now is so like fucking barbaric that it's like, it's really one of those like life or death things. That's like, if I gotta fight for my life. I'm not fighting over words no more.
And this might be me like speaking more to personal preference, and I don't know, like there are levels where somebody might call me a Neanderthal, and there are levels where somebody might call me like super forward thinking.
Yes.
Like with the gay thing, it doesn't, like at one point I'm like every other man. I was like, that's gay, but it doesn't bother me. Like you live your life, like, you know, the way you live your life. And not even that, like some like CBS ass answer. I just don't give a fuck. Like I understand that this human experience is way more complex than we give it credit for.
Yeah.
And that is delved into this topic, the topic we had a couple weeks ago about religion. Like it goes 50,000 different ways. But at the same time, I'm not somebody who's opposed to, sometimes you need to get your motherfucking wig split. Like, you don't need to get hurt. You don't need to get put in the ground. But sometimes a good old-fashioned, I'll whoop your motherfucking ass because you needed your motherfucking ass whooped. So I think I know people like, I know memes and like positive shit is the trend now. I really 100% believe in, to the point where I got something symbolizing it on my body. I believe in duality. I don't believe in 100% absolutes. So with that being said, like I might be the wrong person to talk to, because as a person, I believe that there is more to us than we kind of give credit to. So yeah, I do believe that you might be a nigga who, I beat your ass, but after I beat your ass, we might have a conversation about why we got to this place. So yeah, I don't know. Like there are certain, like I said, like there are certain things that I can tell when I talk to my father are he's a victim of, you know, like his age. Like he's a, you know, an older man. Like my father's like in his mid-50s. Like, yeah. So like, you know, like it's just a product of like, even us, like when I get old, I know there's something my daughter will tell me that's like, yo, daddy, you old as fuck. But in the middle of that same conversation, my father will tell me something that is obnoxiously profound that'll stick with me. I know till I'm fucking put in the ground. So it is what it is. You just gotta kind of take everybody kind of. I only think like now with this outrage culture, everybody wants like you gotta kind of try to find. There's diamonds in the bullshit if you look. Sometimes shit is just bigotry bullshit, but sometimes is you can find some shit. There's what's that? Diamonds in the rough. Is that the statement? Diamonds in the rough.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's with the masculinity thing. Like, I guess as now, like the conversation, which is good. Like everybody's looking for what does it mean to be masculine? What does it mean to be a man? I think I'm figuring out like what it means for me. And some of this shit is gonna have to be. I think at some point it'd have to be like everything else. What does it mean to you? I'm figuring out what it means to me, and I know a lot of that is built on what has been built on my whole life is being honorable, being a man of my word, regardless of what that word is. And I just refuse to treat people shitty. I'm not putting anybody on blast. Some of the people I care about the most, like I love to death and would put a lot of things that I hold dear on the line for. I know for a fact 100% gay. I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, so it like 100%. That, like I know that's a big conversation and I'm not minimizing it, but it doesn't, some of that shit doesn't matter to me. And depending on what conversation we're talking about, it doesn't matter to me. Like if I fuck with you and like, I have love for you and I love you dearly, like I don't care. So when niggas act like that shit compromises them, like it depends on the perspective you put it in.
Is that a standard or a stipulation? Like, do you have to love to be able to respect, or is that like those are not?
Fuck no. There's a lot of people I respect. I don't like, if you fucking blew up in front of me, I'd be like, wow, that's crazy. Like, yeah, like I like it wouldn't. It would like I'd be like, it would hold up sleep for as long as I could have that conversation with somebody who I cared. If I had that conversation with, like, if a nigga blew up in front of me, he happened to be gay, and I called you right after, and you were like, wow, bro, and I had a good enough conversation to like ease my thoughts, I would go to sleep like a baby. Okay. So like, yeah, like that's not nothing like to that particular person. Like it just is what it is. Like
that fucking example is so open to interpretation of what it, like if how you actually felt.
If you choose to take it like a fucked up way, that's fine. But like I mean that in like the best of ways. Like if certain things like really, like move me in a certain way, like it is what it is. But like if I have what's that shit, like your support system around you, like I think I could be okay. Like if a murderer,
you don't have to defend it. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not saying.
Yeah, like if a murderer,
that was more so for comedic value than actual.
Well, fine. Like yeah, like if somebody like it is what it is. Like yeah,
it's like a 2-hour episode, so we're gonna like.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
we have been. You motherfuckers got a lot, and it's on video.
Boom! Mic dropping off.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, clean your panties. Fucking, like put your dicks away, whatever you fuck with, cause y'all got to see this. This is, ain't nobody tell me I'm not, like, we not good looking, like fucking bald, bearded, and fucking black.
The lighting might not be appropriate.
I don't give a shit.
I'm in the corner.
Bald, bearded, black, beautiful. You're fucking welcome.
Yes. Thank me later.
Exactly. When I figure out how to get iMovie together so you niggas hear this actual mic quality instead of what was recorded on. Ooh, bitch. Ooh.
Tell him.
Ooh.
Soldier
baby.
Boy. Soldier boy. Tell him. Yeah, but we gonna wrap this bitch up. Just a Dope Ass Podcast. Follow IG, Snapchat.
Everything.
EJ, TJ.
Everybody tired of going to work. Y'all enjoy.
This is a long ass episode. To listen to this again, I have to like app everybody.
Pretty much. I literally fucks with anybody.
If you listen to this point, shout the fuck out to you.
Yeah, the 4 or 5 of y'all that keep hitting me like on a weekly, but like y'all doing good, like, blah, blah. Whenever this, like when this first live episode happened, y'all getting VIP tickets.
VIP. You gonna be
VIP.
We didn't even talk about the stripper bowl. It's like mad shit. We're gonna record again very soon.
It is like, honestly, these really do. However we drop them, it kind of do be like the shit don't go past a week. Now I'm not gonna give y'all days because honestly, niggas be like that. Like today, what is it? Saturday?
Yeah.
It could have been Saturday or Sunday, and like there's gonna be another time this week. It could have been anywhere between Tuesday to fucking Friday.
You want to try to record again tomorrow?
I don't got shit to do.
We're going to try. It depends on what type of EJ I wake up and be tomorrow.
You feel your life's too hard.
We'll figure it out, though. But just a dope ass podcast. IG, just dope ass pod.
This is not, but I fucks with all y'all who be like saying, like,
boom.
cool,
hey, yeah, for real. Like that's some real genuine shit.
So yeah.
Anybody who listen, anybody who fucking reposted shit on their stories and all that shit.
Y'all trying to get in shape? Follow.
Fucks with you.
Go fuck with Lord J. Go fuck with Chardon.
Yeah, like shout out
Chardon physique. Chardon changed her shit. She almost fucked me up. I almost like,
I seen that too.
Yeah, fucking fancy ass nigga.
But nah, shout out Chardon, my nigga. She was on the show last week. Go back and listen to her episode. Hold it down.
Me and Chardon sat in my room and drank tea and talked about nonsense.
Is it fucked up that I didn't listen to that episode?
No,
because I don't listen to my own episode, so I didn't feel bad.
I don't listen. Look, when we do this, I listen to the first 10 to make sure the audio is not full of shit, and I put it up. If anybody ever comes back and tells me what I said, you on your fucking own, fam. I don't know what the fuck I said after I recorded this shit.
Please don't walk up to me with no lines and no excerpts.
If you don't like it, I've grown since then. That's it.
I was talking to somebody the other day. Not the other day, on the day of the Super Bowl, and they know we usually record on Sundays and shit. Mm-hmm. And they like, I was at an event and they was like, "Yo, what's up with the Jada?" And like in my head, I was so out of it that I didn't even realize like, yo, what the fuck they were talking about. And so I was just like, "What?" And they were like, "The podcast." And I was like, "Oh shit, that is God, that was terrible branding." So yeah, it happens.
We'll get better at this, but like. All y'all like should feel really good because like we've been saying from jump, you niggas taking this trip with the team, so you know it is what it is.
Gang, you know what gang mean?
Pretty much. Y'all
you know what gang mean?
Y'all in?
I might have to listen to this.
Y'all watch the Warriors? Like they wasn't the best team, but like they got to Coney. We gonna get to Coney.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. You know what gang mean? You know what gang means?
Oh God, no.
Oh God, no. But I don't even know who. And I don't even know who in them is.
I don't know if we should quote him because that nigga lost.
No, he didn't. I beat him, and y'all, everybody seen I beat him.
Pacquiao beat that boy.
That nigga said I ducked. I ducked one time. I hit him.
Like Pacquiao whooped that nigga like, "This what you want, boy? Huh? You sure? You sure about it?"
Pacquiao beat that boy like he had no teeth.
You sure? All right, no, let's go. I got him.
Nigga say he put a mud bone.
Like when that nigga did a lot of this. Come on. No, it's all right. It's all right. Everybody need that. We need that.
We in deep, so we gon' shout out to everybody who's listened to this point. We appreciate you. Follow Just Dope Ass Podcast. Follow
Sincerely.
IG, all that shit. Just Dope Ass Pod. We gonna holla at y'all. Go.